Brand new.
We are up.
You guys doing good on the other services too, besides the pellets?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the second biggest product?
Really?
Oh, right now probably.
Right now, threads are probably
What is it?
Those PDO
the
threads.
video threads.
And
The
micro
facelift.
Oh, really?
Is that what they also call the vampire lift or something?
Yeah,
Do they last?
Vampire facial is more of
They
a
last,
retinol.
the results
That's
last.
Yeah.
That's where they
18
do
to
this.
24 months.
Basically, it's
That's all?
Well, it's just the collagen's building. Collagen's always going to keep degrading.
Oh.
So the threads are gone after that point, but you rebuild collagen.
to
So
help hold it
But
down.
is it the drooping or
Yeah.
slacking?
Both.
I mean,
My
for
wife does the
like
Juvederm.
Juvederm.
Yeah, so we would insert them in and you and they have barbs on them. And you can pull the skin back a little bit, and so you get a little bit of instant gratification. But those threads with the tissue and everything, the trauma to the tissue, it starts rebuilding collagen, and so it kind of holds your skin up as
Well,
that
the collagen
rebuilds.
treatments.
Yeah, and so we also do ones without barbs that are just little
The
tiny,
body's got a
tiny threads.
microneedling,
And we
same
just
thing.
put them
Well,
in
that's
and
a new
allow
one for
them
us.
to stay
It's not
in
there.
and that just,
Is that for collagen too?
that's the collagen as well. It just doesn't have the barb to lift,
He
it
was
just
so
kind of
pissed
fills
at
certain areas.
where you drop me off.
You look, I didn't go to the
Pretty big, and then we're
doctor. I
doing
didn't,
the
you
Oh,
look-
he is a doctor though.
right, but I didn't see them. I went
Yeah.
in for the float. Where I went for the float.
Did they have that weird bar in there?
No,
Yes. We watched it.
no,
Yeah.
we're not doing that.
And then the floor was just
We're
like
getting
straight on.
What do you think they were doing with that whole part? I didn't get a chance to really ask. Maybe they were trying to do like
Something called Livion.
But who would go in there? Just two.
What's happening? What are you talking about?
The company that we're getting from, they're called Livion.
Okay, we're not gonna talk about it, because you're not getting living stem cells. You're just not. I don't want to get into it. We've investigated that company.
Oh, you have?
You guys better
Oh,
really,
okay.
really watch it.
No, that's good
Do
to know.
not call it stem cells. I mean, I'm just telling you for safety. Call it
Okay.
PRP. Whatever. No, it's not. They're doing growth factors. This is the biggest controversy, and
Yes.
here's the problem.
Yeah.
I am dissing the shit out of Livian and all of their.
Okay.
I say,
Well, this
don't
is
go.
good. We
Here's
have-
what I say.
we haven't
Don't go
started
to
yet
the
with
guys
that.
that do. Now listen.
Yeah.
I don't want to screw up your business. I
yeah.
just want to tell you something. PRP is just as good as that shit. Just as good.
They're not live stem
If you
cells,
want
right?
living stem cells,
Okay.
the only legally
In the country.
Did they tell you that they're supplying living stem cells to you?
Yeah, I have stuff that they've sent us in an email from it, yes. We can lab them for you. Yeah.
Well,
We've already done it.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, the only, you understand that if they concentrated stem cells enough to send them to you,
Yeah.
and you had them on site viable enough to use, it would be a drug. Because there's no way
Yeah.
it would be manipulation. Stem cell and all research, you're only allowed, when you take stuff out of the body, including organs,
That's right, daughters.
you're only allowed to
They just bought new houses
minimally
and everything, so
manipulate
people
them.
there.
Yeah.
So that means that you have to take them out and send them. And if you do, they're dead when they get to you.
I guess
You may have a few hundred. They're telling you the results of extraction.
yeah.
They're not
Right at the
telling you.
border, I don't know. When you
I'm
get.
telling you, man.
No, this is.
Centennial
this is
Show
Older homes.
is the #1 clinic in the country for living stem cells.
Yep.
He's the guy that he invented it. He got in trouble for it. Because, well, years ago,
And like every house up
it was
there, just like
concentrated stem cells
it's
rejected,
got
and they said,
the
"Oh,
concrete
that's
tile.
a drug." So we
And
started
I'm not sure it's because they
and
just
then to
got
do it legally
pummeled
here,
hail.
the only way
Everybody
you
just
can
said,
get
screw
the
it,
concentration
Or the builder was
back
like
on
that.
the site
Or
from
the builder was like that,
and
right.
give it back to the people on
Where
site.
you guys
They're
stayed home, or?
and he gets it fat.
No, we went home now, Fred.
Richards. Beyond,
Dude, this was
umbilical cord blood,
so they had.
antibiotic fluids, all of those things have living stem cells in them.
They had
at the
some
point of
relatives.
extraction.
have the life that you
So,
want.
the
Make calls
relatives.
today.
It makes, yeah.
It includes a
One
fundraiser.
was, it's a 14
I just really
it might be 400 million living stems. The older one is transgender.
What about
to do any kind of a treatment, it's 400 million. The younger one is just discovered.
It is a point where I tell people, I'm only telling you this because I tell people,
From the
if
Richards,
they
they're the
ship
relatives.
in
They were really nice, but what I
or
noticed
tissue,
was,
and
the
tell
girls
you
were
they're
very
getting living
sweet.
stem cells,
almost
you're
like
being ripped off.
they thought
So I say that every day, and
Okay.
I just wanted to know.
Well, that's why we break this. I know.
I
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. We are solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life a little easier. We make your life miserable if you're ripping people off. You know, the show is very easy to sum up. We help people. Now, it's not without controversy, because some people who call, we can't help. I contend that every call helps in one way or another. If not directly to the person who calls, it helps those listening to avoid mistakes. We also have some guests in today I'll introduce in a minute. They're from Revitalize Health. I call them the Hormone Bros. We have a lot going on here during this time of the year, because people are looking for deals, and people are looking not to get ripped off. People are looking, but number one, they look for deals. Our number, if you want to call with any problem, question, or complaint, it's that easy. You call, you just moan and groan and bitch and moan, and we help. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. This is a time of year a lot of people look at the past few months, the year in review. The number one complaint this year, it's not every year, but the number one complaint, contractors. And the number one complaint about contractors is taking money and doing no work. Down payments and they're gone, or they do very little work. The next one is quality of work. So we have guys who take money and leave, or they take money and do terrible work. That's what happens when people don't use referralist.com. I'm just going to be blunt. In fact, many of our problems have come from the other lists because they're not checked out and they're not monitored. Let me get to the phones here. 303-713-TALK. Another thing I'd like to ask you is how you're shopping. Numbers show traditional retail going down. I don't mean this time of year. Retail's doing great, but compared to online, online numbers are going up. Regular retail's going down. I'm talking about overall trends, not this time of year. This time of year, people are just spending money. And I had a conversation over the weekend. I call it cocktail party conversation because it was kind of like a cocktail party. It was a chili party. But people were talking, and I said to a guy who had been in retail his entire life, very successful, so I won't use names. You will definitely recognize the stores he was involved in. And I said, traditional retail will be gone in 10 years. He said, well, no way. No way. In fact, right now I could get back into it, and I could show people customer service that would knock them out. They'd love it, because he contended that if you treat people right, and of course I preach this every day, if you treat people right, they're going to come to you, and they'll even pay a little more money. Wrong answer. I think people say they want great service and they want quality, but I have seen people forego those things for a $10 savings. I think we are hypocrites, and I think if somebody treats us nice, oh yeah, that's better than not treating us nice, and I think you'll pick one retailer over another retailer. But when it comes to seeing a product, if they treated you great and you go home and you search it on the internet and find it for 25% cheaper, you're going to buy it. You're going to use retail to touch and feel and browse and go home and buy it. And a lot of people say, well, that's not fair, but that is what is happening. I think retail has become the demo for online sales. What's going to happen, though, if you don't have retailers to touch and feel? There is a new thing going on where it's not so new, but where you order stuff on purpose for review. In other words, you don't even pretend, and the retailer doesn't even pretend it's a permanent situation. They'll send you 5 different things knowing you're going to pick one or maybe none. And then you pick them, and then you send the rest back, where you are literally shopping in your home. I'd like you to weigh in on it. I know our guys here have a lot to say about it, and they can, but first I want to take some phone calls. Bree, what's happening, Bree?
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Bree. Thank you for contacting us. What's going on?
Well, thanks for taking my call, and I'm just coming off of a cold, so I apologize for my voice.
So what's going on?
So back in October, beginning of October, I reached out to a company to have them mount 3 TVs,
Okay.
and they also provided the mounts.
Okay. By the way, this is becoming a very big business. TV installations. There are companies making a very good living doing it. They not only install with the mounts, but they take care of the hidden wiring and all of that. So where did you find the company, Bree?
Well, I found it off Craigslist.
Oh my God.
But after I Googled them, I did see that they had some reviews on the Indeed.com website. So that made me feel a little bit better about hiring them.
And what went wrong? Let's just talk about it. What happened?
Well, the installation actually went great. I thought that they did a good job.
How much did you get charged to install 4 TVs with brackets?
Oh, sorry. So it's 3 TVs.
Okay.
And they hid the wires, and they charged me $275.
Wait, for all of them?
Yes, I already had a mount for one of the TVs.
But that's still good. They provided 2 mounts and hid the wires. When you say they hid the wires, did they have surface mounting wire hiders, or did they go through the walls?
They just went through the wall.
Very good. I mean, that's a cheap price. Anyway, what happened?
Yes, I thought it was a good price, and then I even tipped them $55 after they left. And didn't think twice about it. And then a few days ago, I got a certified letter from the subcontractor, who was the one who actually came out to my house to install the TV mounts. And
so you hired, what company did you hire? What's the name of the company?
It was called Mile High TV Design.
Mile High TV what?
Design.
Okay, and then they hired a sub or a handyman to do it.
Yeah, which I didn't know that they did subcontract work. I just kind of thought that
no one really knows when subs are involved. So let's get right to it. This guy that actually did the work said, I didn't get paid.
Correct.
How much does he want? What's the lien for?
$242.
Okay, $242. And did you contact Mile High TV Design and say, I'm getting a lien? I
did.
And what did they say?
They said that they had paid the worker, and that he has been let go of the company because their exact words were he was trying to get money from their customers, that he's been known to do this. However, when I asked for proof of payment that they paid him, they stopped answering my phone calls.
Do you have a paid receipt from him?
Not from him, but from the company. When that's
what I mean. So she's got it paid in full. So
hold on. You know, Mark is referencing the lien protection laws in the state, which basically say if you have a primary residence, a written agreement, and proof of payment, then any subcontractors that come against you, this is an affirmative defense. Did you actually get a lien or a threat of a lien?
It was a notice of intent to lien.
Okay. Well, there's really nothing you can do about it. If someone's dishonest and they want to lien you, they can lien you. Now, it could be he's dishonest, or it could be the company's dishonest. We will, because you contacted us, we'll make a call to Mile High TV and get some comment, okay? So you hold on and we'll get that information. But here's what I want to tell you. If in fact you're taken to court, it's not worth the money to hire an attorney, in my opinion. But if this was me, I would research the law and print it out. I'd go to the judge when it's my turn. I'd say, here, it's very simple, Your Honor. First of all, I wouldn't do anything if it's just a lien, because the lien will do nothing. It'll drop off in a few months. So you don't have to do anything unless he forecloses. But if he tries to perfect the lien, you simply use the lien protection laws, which basically state if it's your primary residence, you have proof of payment, and it's in writing, you're done. So hold on, and we'll call them for you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Jessica wants to talk about Children's Hospital, and Barry wants to talk about Home Depot. But I'm very curious, very quickly, Jessica, we're going to take a quick break and then come back to you. What is it? Usually Children's Hospital, we get glowing reviews. What is the complaint about? And then I'll take the details in a minute. What are the complaints about?
Sure. So my primary complaint with them is that we went there last week for my son's G-tube button, and they refused to treat him.
His what?
His G-tube button.
Okay, now I got to ask what that is.
It's a feeding tube. It's a tube that's placed directly into the wall of his stomach, and I mean, he's totally tube fed, so that's how he eats.
How old is he?
7 months.
Okay, hold on. We'll take this. Coming back, and then Barry has a Home Depot complaint. We have the Hormone Bros with us, 303-713-TALK. Listen, Integra Insurance sells health insurance, and they don't charge you a dime. And trust me, you won't save a dime going direct to a company. There is no reason not to use these guys. This is the only client I have where I say this. Everyone should use them. Everyone. Integra Insurance makes health insurance simple and smart. Here's why. They can go on the exchange or off, and they can find the best plan for you. There are no penalties for going off the exchange anymore. And in fact, you don't even have to have insurance, but you should. And the law still says you have to. They just don't penalize you. To find out about that, if you're confused, IntegraInsurance.com. I'm going to give you the number, but I want to tell you they help you with Medicare supplements as well. Even if you need Medicaid, they can give you direction. And they can tell you if you qualify for Medicaid. All of your health insurance questions, all of them, 303-466-5500. 303-466-5500. IntegraInsurance.com.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Travel around
What's that?
They probably don't have insurance. Probably wasn't life or death.
Yeah, you don't, I mean, it's not like it's been built or something. Yeah.
They probably don't have any insurance, and they showed up, and it wasn't life or limb.
Yeah.
So no TVs, Tom, and stuff. You just wouldn't cancel a credit card and pay that? But she paid by credit card, just like
Well, that's a good idea, except it's not affordable. They can prove that the work was done, and she has a contract with them, so they win that dispute. That's the problem.
With your traffic and
but they're saying they didn't pay, and so I didn't pay. I'd say I don't know. It's been a month. It's been a month.
That company would say, we did it, and
they did do it.
I know, and technically,
start with Lowe's.
They did.
They wouldn't win that dispute in a million years.
Credit cards, first of all, tend to just side with companies anyway to begin with. So
if they were swiped, if they weren't swiped,
it was swiped. It was swiped.
That's what I'm saying. If it's swiped, man, it's a hard
Couldn't you
fight.
say no? That company didn't do it because this other company says you didn't pay it.
yeah, but she contracted with that company, got what she paid for it. Really, they're very strict about that. They're really strict about it.
He doesn't have a chance in hell though of getting a lien on that if she's got to pay in full or receiving it. Look at that 30-year fixed for 5.07.
While we don't expect a repeat, there may be challenges. Learn how to become mortgage safe. Does your current mortgage make a payment for you if you can't? Do they allow you to access your equity for that unexpected emergency? Take AIM, Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. Thousands have learned how to become mortgage safe. by not continuing to pay compound interest. That's interest on interest. Why continue to pay over 70% of what you borrow back to the bank in excessive interest?
He's going back to this.
Affordable interest mortgage. 720-895-0500.
Sure, simple interest.
Pay simple interest and save thousands while paying principal first. Everything I mentioned can be done with one loan. With home values going up, now is the time to become mortgage safe. Protect your heart and your family. Take AIM, your locally owned and operated broker since 2001. Affordable interest mortgage. 720-895-0500. And MLS 298191, regulated by DORA, equal credit lender.
Today is the day you break
That's too bad when you got yours, I got mine, they didn't have a similar type of loan program.
If you are someone you know
That same kind that you can pay some interest, put your money in the bank.
I wouldn't pass on that.
No, don't you think they would have had it at the time? No?
Not at that age.
You know, guys, you really need to protect yourself. So I think you should call Dr. I'll give you his number. Dr.
That's 720-893-5559.
Truly,
The House of Premier Addiction Recovery Program located here in Colorado. You'll speak to someone local about different treatment options. All evidence-based treatments designed to help reduce substance abuse. No more excuses, no more denials. Get the help you need.
I would like to see what they're promising is, because I'd like to.
Free, no obligation consultation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because these people, they claim they don't, that technically you're not promised that. And I need to know if they talk about what you get, or when it's sent, or how it's worded.
Yeah, we got it in the email. Yeah.
I would love to know that stuff.
Okay.
How much are they charging for it?
For one joint, 10 million cells. It's
1650.
well, no. Well, that's what.
That's our cost. That's what I mean. They're buying it for
1650.
Okay, and then usually
That's with the shipping. 150 for shipping.
It'd be about $5,000.
So Mark, it's 1650. They're selling this fake stuff for 1650.
And then you guys would sell it for what, $5?
So what happens if you test it and there's not 10 million in there? Do you pay less of a?
So I mean, yeah, like
Well,
how
there's
do we test it?
From what they told us is when
There's more than
they
10
put
million.
in more, and by the time of injection, it is at 10
So
million.
you yield more.
Is
That's
what,
what we're saying.
Yeah, but they have to wait $1,650.
Yeah.
This is Dan Campus. We
Put on credit card, and then you don't say, hey, I didn't get 10 million cells.
That's
Right.
That's true.
But I mean, yeah, it'd be better to know before using the product.
Guys,
People.
if they are sending 10 million cells, they're breaking law.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your consumer advocate going on 40 years in Denver. And we have 2 Home Depot complaints. But first, Clint, yes or no? Did you talk to anyone? No? Okay.
He says they're out of business.
The number doesn't even answer. Okay, then I would dispute it on the credit card then. Because if they don't... Listen, Bree, you know, that's another thing. Dispute it on the credit card. Say that they didn't do the work. And you're being honest. That company did not do the work. They did not do the work. They sent a guy, and they went out of business, and you're making a deal with the guy directly or something like that. I would do that. Plus, I would just wait because the lien is not going to mean anything. But if you can get that dispute settled, then you can pay them. Are you there?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, that number that I provided you, because I was communicating with them on Friday, but...
What did they say on Friday?
Well, it was only through text message. They would not answer my phone call.
What did they say?
They said that they paid that individual, and then when I asked for proof that they paid, they never answered my text
so
message.
Clint, why did you say the number's not in service?
Well, the first number answers the phone gun barrel something, and the other one's a personal number to somebody personal. So.
And they didn't know anything about it, or they're pretending not to. Okay.
And that number was off my receipt that I have.
Which number? Which one?
The second number I gave them.
Which is? Oh, no, let's not give it out if it's truly not them, because I don't want the person being harassed. Hold on. Not hold on. just go on, and when you actually get a lien, call us back. But right now, you have an affirmative defense if they try to foreclose on a lien. What people don't realize is that a lien goes away. What is it, 4 months? It has no teeth.
You got to do the 10-day.
Oh, wait,
you've got.
wait. You have to do it within 4 months.
That's right.
But when does it?
They have to sue them, I think, within 6
months, something like that. Okay, now we go to Jessica, and Jessica has a problem with Children's Hospital. So, Jess, in layman's terms, your son is tube fed.
Yes, he is exclusively tube fed.
For how long?
Since he was 5 weeks old.
How long will it go on?
We don't know. He aspirates when he swallows anything orally, which means it's going down into his lungs and not his stomach.
Do they have a diagnosis and a treatment?
No, we're going through that whole process. We've been seeing any specialists you could possibly think of, ENT, neurology.
So they've never seen this before?
It is fairly, it's not common. It's common in kids with medical disabilities. So swallowing difficulties is common in babies who were premature or who just have other medical ailments.
Now, Jessica, your son was born right on time, or was he premature?
No, he was born right at 39 weeks.
39 weeks. And any other complications other than this swallowing?
We've had some GI complications, and they are potentially looking at a genetic syndrome. So we have to go in for genetic testing after we're done with neurology and
oh my goodness, what a stress with a brand new baby.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh gosh, but are they hopeful? Are they saying we're we can work this out, or they don't know? I mean, what is it, a big unknown right now?
It is. It's a very big unknown. When we first, he didn't start out with the G tube, which is the one that goes right into his stomach.
Yeah.
He started out with an NG tube, which is placed down the nose and it goes into the stomach. And so when we first noticed all these problems with him, they said that it was likely something he would outgrow.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, babies, their bodies just don't catch up on time. And 7 months down the road, and this is still a very big issue that hasn't gotten better. They're looking at other potential causes.
Wow. So what got complicated at Children's Hospital now?
So he has had his G tube for about 4 weeks now, and kids' tubes get pulled out all the time. It's just a thing that happens.
Okay.
But they told us that if it got pulled out before it was in for 6 weeks, which is the stoma's healing time, then to bring him in so they could just check everything out.
Well, what's the problem then? What's the problem, though?
They refused to treat him.
Wait. The tube came out, and you said the tube came out and they refused to treat?
Absolutely.
Wait, did you go to the emergency room?
Yes, and every RN is trained to replace an NG or a G tube. And for whatever reason, they contacted their pediatric surgeon, who refused to see him, and no one else would do anything for him.
Okay, Jessica, I mean, this is too weird. You're telling me, hold on just one sec. I don't know what's happening with line 1 there. I just want to make sure. Hold on. I just don't want to disconnect anyone. Doggone it. I don't know what's going on, Suzanne. Could you drop line 1 or something? Oh, I just did. Okay. Are you there now, Jess?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry for that complication. So, Jessica, let me get this straight. Is there any unpaid bill? Is there anything?
Nope.
What? Your son had the G-tube fall out or come out. You went to the emergency room, and they flat out refused to see you. I don't understand this. Did they give you a reason?
Not really. They said that...
What's the not really part? I'm not asking if you agree with the reason. They had to say something. I mean, you're there with a baby that depends on a tube to eat at Children's Hospital ER, and they say, we're sorry, Jessica, we're not going to treat your son.
They said that they needed the surgeon who did his surgery to see him But the
so they
thing
didn't
was,
say we're refusing to do this. They're saying we're trying to contact the surgeon now.
No, not necessarily. They told us, so the surgery, the G-tube surgery, was performed at Rocky Mountain Hospital for Children.
Okay.
And so they said that if we took him over there, their surgeon would likely not see us because he wasn't the one that did the surgery. However, he was 5 hours past due for a feed. He eats every 3 hours. And he was screaming and crying in pain because that tube got ripped out. My toddler was being rowdy and tripped over his feed line.
But I still don't know why they did not replace the tube. They had it. It was in his medical records. It was done at Children's. No, it was not done at Children's, right?
Right, but they did have his medical records because all our doctors work closely together.
I just don't understand this. I don't understand it. There's something you're not telling me, and I don't know what it is. And I don't mean that you're trying to deceive us, Jessica, but something doesn't add up. They will not just flat out refuse, especially if a child needs to eat. You're telling me Children's Hospital flat out would not treat.
Yes, because they said it was not technically a life or death emergency. So they...
Why is it not? I mean, when does it become a life or death emergency? Did they tell you that? They said it would be different if... Help me here, Jessica. Sometimes people, when they have a problem, won't tell me all of the other party's justification because they don't want to give credence to it. I'm asking you to share anything at all they said. I mean, this sounds totally unreasonable to me. That they...
And that's exactly why I called in, is because Children's wanted to keep him overnight on IV fluids, and there was absolutely no reason.
Wait a minute. So they didn't want to just send you away. They were going to make sure he was stable. And until when? Why did they want to keep him overnight? I'm not asking if you agree, if it's necessary or not. Their solution was to keep him overnight, make sure he had IV, and then what? And then what, according to them?
They never told us. They just said that they wanted to keep us overnight on IV fluid.
And what? Then what? And then dismiss him tomorrow? Just charge him tomorrow?
Did they tell you to go somewhere else, like Denver General or something?
Jessica, I know that they gave you some kind of reason to keep him overnight.
That's the thing. They didn't, because we took my son.
Okay, we're going to keep your son overnight. We're not going to replace the G-tube. Then tomorrow we're going to discharge him. That's what they said.
They did not say whether they would discharge him or not.
What did they say? This is like pulling teeth, Jessica. I need to know everything. What did they say they were going to do? Jessica, we're keeping your son overnight, and we hope that in that time we can get a hold of the surgeon. What did they say?
They said that they wanted to contact Rocky Mountain to see what they wanted to do.
Okay, then you see, Jessica, it's not exactly as you portrayed it. You went to the emergency room. All you needed was the G-tube to be reinserted. They didn't do it, so they would not do it because it wasn't life-threatening. And they said, Jessica, listen, we're going to take your son, we're going to keep him overnight, make sure he's stable. In the meantime, we'll get a hold of the surgeon and get this taken care of. Now, that sounds way more realistic than we flat out refuse to treat. So is that second one I gave more accurate? We'll keep him overnight, we'll stabilize him, and we'll get a hold of his surgeon.
Yes and no. They weren't contacting his surgeon specifically. They were just contacting the pediatric surgeon.
Jessica, what is your complaint right now? What is it? Because right now, I can't rely on your portrayal of events. What do you want? That's what I need to know. Obviously, something happened. Your son was treated. I need to know. You see, you don't help when I can't find out stuff. So hold on. Just hold on. Hold on. Obviously, your son was treated. I need to know the sequence of events. It just needs... I need accurate information, even if you don't agree with it. I hope people realize, now this is typical. And then what's going to happen? We're going to find out some information. I swear to God, if you listen to the show, and I'm going to say, well, you didn't tell me that part, right? And then what's she going to say? What's she going to say, Mark? When I say you didn't tell me that part, what does the person say? You did not give me a chance. Is that what's going to happen?
Most likely.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to try to extract information because, Jessica, we can help. We can make a hell of a lot of noise and help you.
Here's what I think. I don't think she had insurance, and they were saying it's not life or death. You need to go somewhere else. You don't think so?
No, I don't think it was payment issue at all. I don't. We'll find out. I hope Jessica hangs on. Don't get mad at me, Jessica. I'm trying to help. Denver Egress Windows is a company I fully endorse because they help you make your home safer. An egress window is what is commonly called a window well. You put them in the basement so you can use that square footage legally. But you may already have a window well, but it's rotting out because the builder put in that ugly corrugated steel. You may have one you want put in where there's nothing there. They can punch through a foundation and put in a beautiful window well or egress window. They can even put in a walkout basement on a flat lot by terracing down to a flat, beautiful patio. They can work magic, either rebuilding the old, putting in new, even a walkout basement. Safety, protection, beauty, value, durability. Denver Egress Window. Now, the Sennett family owns this. I've known them for 30 years, and you can depend on them to do beautiful work. Denver Egress Window.com, 720-626-4221. 720-626-4221.
Okay, because I need to have some in the bank.
I called a pediatric nurse to explain that to me. She said they feed them.
No, that's sometimes.
That's sometimes tube that she was talking about.
But there's two different.
Yeah, I know. The stoma is the
He
direct.
had the direct tube.
Yeah, he had the direct one. But she said they should be able to feed him the other way.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to do anything because they didn't do it.
Yeah.
So let's not want to screw around unless it's emergency.
Yeah, but what they
But
wanted
if it was an
about
emergency,
they wanted to hold overnight
they
and
could
do
have
fluids.
done that temporarily.
The main thing that they're worried about is dehydration.
Yeah.
And if they were offering to do fluids until they can find somebody, I think that's the right route.
Well, she said they
Of course, you don't just go fucking with somebody's tube.
I think she just
She just wanted it done.
Yeah.
right in,
Yeah.
and
That's exactly right.
That's exactly
doctor should be out of town.
Exactly. And then they're going to try to find somebody who is willing to do it or whatnot.
And why wouldn't
Takes
she
time.
wait for that then?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was
I think
asking.
she
If the
took it
stoma pulled out,
as they
what
wanted
can
to
they do?
do.
She talked like they couldn't
But
feed
that
it
has
at
nothing
all.
to do with it.
Do you see how difficult it is to get?
That was a tough one there.
I'm finding that out.
People will only tell me what they want.
Hey, Dan, did you comment for somebody to email us on a problem?
Which problem?
On Facebook, there you said email
Oh,
us.
yes, Patrick.
Just for now on, just tell them help, not live. Even though
Okay,
live
okay.
goes to help, we don't use live.
Okay.
Is Breeze off now?
She's off.
Okay, good.
She did want to know, sorry.
I'll call her later.
She was confused. She was like, so should I dispute the charge and pay the sub or leave it alone?
But we still
You'll
get
call her
live
later.
though, right? It's still valid. It's
We
still
do.
trying to help.
Can you lean on Jeremy?
On what?
Is he around for the new clock?
Yeah. I'm leaning on him for something else too. He's been very slow. I think he's just busy as shit.
I didn't know stoma could be the hole in your neck of the stoma.
Stoma just means an opening.
An open, yeah, it could be for rectal.
It could be for anything.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
Yeah,
You have to
this
bring
is
out
just
the rectal.
That's a tough way to be fed.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
And the GI ones have to be usually done in like the IR.
Did you get the one
some sort of images when they're replacing.
Did you get the
stoma or the
one?
G tube and the stoma.
RNs can't do that.
Yeah.
No.
The lady I called.
The RNs can do this.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, she's been a surgical pediatric nurse her whole life. She's retired, the lady I called. So, yeah. But I just didn't understand why they said they couldn't feed him.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case. I think that's misleading.
They just screamed they wasn't fed.
veneers in 2 years or less, way
We're not
cheaper
gonna
than
keep this
getting
same
a mouthful of veneers. Aurora,
What's that?
Orthodontics, and TMJ.
I don't want to renew the lease on that damn printer.
Well, it's a ridiculous thing, isn't it? Can't we just buy one? And then have somebody service it? How, do we own that printer or not?
No.
How much are we paying a month?
A lot.
How much?
Depends if he hits print on 400 colors.
No, I know, approximately.
Well, I'll do you a deal. How much you paying a month for your printer?
No, just hold on.
He's got the same one.
How much?
It's got, I want to say probably $3,000 a year. How much does that printer cost us roughly per year?
If you're a homeowner, now
I want to see if I'm right, because I think there's the service contract and the
credit cards and student loans.
She's looking.
Can we get out of it?
It's coming up. That's why I'm looking at it.
Okay, do you have one we can buy?
I have one you can have
What are
it.
you waiting for?
Okay, is it in good condition?
Yeah, but well, we never got the right
He was a printer salesman.
We never got the right software to go from our Mac to it.
Yeah, that's easy.
But whatever that, but yeah, it works perfect. And it's got
Just like ours?
Yeah, except it's got a finisher on it too.
Okay, so seriously,
So it'll collate?
we can have it refurbished. We can find servicing.
Oh, it's real low timeline, real super low timeline.
Let's just
Where do you have it?
Let's just do it.
My wife's office.
Let's just
It's
do
way
it.
too big.
We'll hire somebody to go get it and bring it. Then we'll hire a company to go through it.
If we even need it.
My daughter, when she was printing her own manuals, is why she had it.
No, but we'll go through the whole thing anyway. But there must be printer service companies, and I don't mind a service contract, a small one, just to keep.
They have a counter in them. And the counter says it's like a year old.
This might be the way to go.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Everything sounds good so far.
Actually, really, some of them get so complicated. I don't like them. They're just way too complicated.
It's a pretty old unit for what we're spending.
That's what I'm saying. But I like the basic of it. There are some screens that we'll never use.
Yeah, it's got the same screen. It's a Ricoh. To me, it looks like it's the same model.
I don't even know if we need something like that, but if it's freebie, we don't care.
And then we refurbish it or whatever we need.
We'll throw them a bone.
It's just too big for us.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Simply Floors Inc. means simply savings, period. SimplyFloorsInc.com. People are looking for fuller coverings, and he does near wholesale. I'm telling you, 20, 30, 40, 50% off some of the big boxes. Now, he has a buying group which makes him at par with the big guys. But he also does something else. He passes the savings on. He also pays his installers more. He pays his salespeople more. He just makes less profit and spreads it around. That's his philosophy. SimplyFloorsInc.com, 52nd and Ward. And with every purchase, you do get designer services. I don't just mean someone who says that's a nice color. Someone who coordinates the floor with the rest of the house. Not just the colors, but the texture, the materials, whatever you need. He has them all. He has all the new floors. Luxury vinyl tile, waterproof carpeting, and all the basics. Simply Floors Inc. INC. SimplyFloorsInc.com. As I said, a showroom at 52nd and Ward. All right. When we handle medical problems, we have to go through a whole thing that Suzanne has, a HIPAA form and all that. And then we start interceding, but we may not have to. Jessica told a story of her son's G-tube coming out, and she went to Children's Hospital ER. Now, her son goes there for some things, but they did not put the tube in. And when she went to have it replaced, they said, we got to get a hold of the surgeon. And she was upset because the child was past feeding. According to our medical people here, the hormone bros, they said the hospital at that point did the right thing by offering fluids and overnight so the baby would not be dehydrated. And then in the meantime, they would try to get a hold of the surgeon. So that's a far cry from the original call, which said my baby had a G-tube come out and they would not treat him. Now, somewhere in between. Now, I'm not saying Jessica doesn't have a problem, but we need to figure out what it is right now. Now, Jessica, did they keep the child overnight? Did you allow them to do that?
No.
Okay. What did you do then?
We had him discharged from Children's, and we took him over to Rocky Mountain, where where they literally just popped the button back in, took him back for an X-ray immediately to check him.
But why did they do it immediately and Children's wouldn't?
They even said themselves that it didn't make sense why Children's wouldn't just do that.
I don't know why. I know they're going to have their reasons, but that's weird. Why didn't you take them there to begin with, since they're the ones that did it?
Because the Children's South campus is like 10 minutes down the road from us.
Gotcha. And
Right,
you've had your son there for other things.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you want, Jessica? What is the purpose of the call? Because truly, that's what we try to do. We try to help where we can. What can we do for you?
I'm a little bit frustrated.
You're pissed off, and I don't blame you if you felt like you were just sloughed off. You thought it was totally unnecessary. Why does my baby have to stay in a hospital all night when all you have to do is pop in a tube? I know your frustration, and you know what? I'd probably be frustrated too. So what do you want?
I just want, I want Children's to step up their level of care. They're
known as the best in the world, but...
Exactly, and they are supposed to be setting the standard. And like I said, we've seen them for millions of different things, ER, different departments, and we've never once had a good experience with them.
Well, then you're not going to go there anymore, right? You go to Rocky Mountain?
No.
What's the name of the Rocky Mountain place?
Rocky Mountain Hospital for Children.
Okay. I have never heard of it. Honest to goodness, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, they're not as big as Children's Hospital is, but, we've had far better experiences there than anytime we've gone to Children's.
Did you contact the hospital administrator just to file an official complaint?
Yes, I contacted patient relations.
And what did they say?
He has a patient advocate who's going to look into everything, look into the ER doctors.
Just let me know. Let us know, please, because, there's not much we can do about it, but she's calling because she's frustrated and ticked off, all right? I don't even know what to say. I mean, they had their reasons. Hey, the Hormone Bros are here. I want to ask you guys, since you're here anyway, do you have any reason why Children's wouldn't do anything? What do you guys think, basically? What do you think? Joe, John, James? No, the two nurse practitioners are Joe and John?
James and John.
James and John. James and John. Okay, and then just the schlock that just does the paper shuffling and manages, that's Joe. So John or James, seriously, why do you think Children's Hospital made that decision? Why do you think? What's your gut feeling?
Well, my gut feeling is they weren't the ones that, installed it or put it in. And
what would be wrong with just reinstalling it, though, do you think, if he already had it? Because they didn't have the records, they didn't know, or...
Well, she's saying they did have the records because they had access to it.
But maybe because they thought they'd do something wrong? I don't know.
Could be. Or maybe they're just doing their due diligence on it, just trying to look into it a little bit more before just making it, let's just go back and do this. And I know it's hard to say. It's hard to say when you're not there.
I know. It's just...
the trauma of it being a 7-month-old.
You got to get really close to that microphone.
The trauma of it being a 7-month-old too. You don't want to just jump into that without having all the records. So, keeping them overnight and having them on IV fluids just as a precautionary before just...
They were being conservative. That's what I would say. I would say more conservative than being jerks. I don't think they were. When she said they ought to step up their level of care, I think...
She also said she was never happy with anything they did, though.
Yeah. Well, if anybody wants to weigh in on it. Hey, Barry, if I have to preview your complaint with Home Depot, what is it all about?
It's basically I bought a gas stove, and their third-party company that they hired installed it, and they damaged my flex line. It took them 40 minutes to
Did you pay that company directly, or was it through...
It paid through Home Depot.
All right, hold on. Enough said. Sherry, if you had to summarize your problem, what is it with the Home Depot?
I ordered a damaged window from them, and
well, you didn't order it damaged. You ordered a window that came in damaged?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So your window came in damaged. Hold on. We'll get to both of you and more. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Icon Eye Care is the place to go for eye care. Isn't it that simple? It's done. IconEyeCare.com. What do I mean by eye care? You can get LASIK for as little as $400. You can get a whole lens. Brand new lens. If you have cataract, you get a new lens, and you don't have to worry about near or far anymore because they have lenses that focus. In fact, They're such great lenses. I did what's called a clear lens exchange. I didn't even have cataracts. You can get brand new vision. Never need glasses. Never get cataracts. And your eyes focus. Wonderful stuff. Icon Eye Care is the latest and greatest when it comes to eye care. IconEyeCare.com. The number 866-GOT-ICON.
Home Depot complaints. They step up. Oh, God,
You found them to step up, huh?
Every time.
Home Depot steps up?
Yeah,
Really?
Very, very good.
When I moved out here from Arizona a few months back, I ordered a range from them. They allowed me to order it. It never came in, and I was getting ready to put the house on the market. It never came in. Called up customer service. They replaced it with a different one. It never came in. And then it took them 3 months to refund me my money. Yeah.
They've been pretty good. I
love them.
My wife has a very custom garage door prior. She's listening. Anyway, she was like, even when I was a pediatric nurse, when the baby was admitted to the pediatric unit, we wouldn't just drop an NG tube because it came out. It took 3 months because you have to have imaging to make sure it didn't put it in the airway. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just something just placed willy-nilly. If you get the right people, as far as why it was placed in the first place, if it came out, did it cause trauma, so many vendors, all that stoves, so many different places they apply from. They're kind of so. You know what I mean? It can be easily just put in, but was there trauma when it was ripped out? You know, you have to have imaging. You have to know why it was.
Well, we'll see. We've got Charlie, a pediatrician.
Maybe the standard of care is they don't touch it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, conservative, or you just don't know exactly.
And 5 hours, okay. Is that a medical emergency? No. The baby's crying, yes. So she's frustrated, and I'm sure the baby's hungry. But is it going to, is the baby in harm by not getting the feeding right now?
Does it hurt when the stomach gets pulled out?
Well, a lot of the times,
it's
suture.
It could.
A lot of the times there's suture to it, and so it could have hurt. Yeah, absolutely.
Rambunctious.
I can see that with my kids too.
You're probably full of that. And it could be something she was unhappy with a previous experience, so she just jumped to this being unhappy, you know what I mean, not giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Tom has a name for it. Poison relationship? Is that what you call it? Toxic.
Yeah. And that could be what was going on. Her previous experience wasn't great, so she just didn't even talk to you like that.
I get people, I try to get them away because they don't have to deal with the place they're dealing with.
I mean, they're saying that I think it's as young as they want to get even, they can start transgendering over into that's crazy.
And that one might have a good saying that is this legal you want to die on?
That's the, well, that makes sense. Like, no.
He said they have doors for everything out there. I do the shots. I do testosterone shots. I've done for years. My wife's a nurse, so she's saying she doesn't deal with doors for anything you could possibly think of. I do them once.
Why do they need specific joints? Why can't they just stick new things over a week?
I know that. I think it's better for people that learn to get along.
Right. So really, what CU is doing is segregating.
You want to be more consistent with telling, even if you do the shots once a week.
Questionnaire for life. You're right. I have really inside of even a dorm.
So what do you feel how long a dorm? Just 20 girls.
You saw women smart.
It's very hormone.
What's it called?
Sex hormone binding globulin.
Yes.
Yeah. Binds to it. You have to get something like that.
Yeah. There are supplements that can help that.
There's supplements, absolutely. Boron, stinging nettle root, dim.
It doesn't create testosterone, but it helps you.
Well, I had that bonding problem. It was low. Yeah, it was low. But the bonding problem, even with the amount of takeaway,
and there's another problem is the which I don't understand.
Pressure on aromatizing it. Conversion to estradiol.
Which won't help.
It's greater with the.
I have to take that. Oh yeah, that's my whole point.
You're on an estrogen.
That's chip on this.
You convert too much. Aromatize.
Everybody.
And also you have.
You're saying like
you have
they don't even want to claim
count,
it because you think they're
all those things on there. And
Yeah, exactly. They're
binding
thinking
one.
that I'm.
Who's that, Mark?
That's the part that's
Who's that, Mark?
We went to, we went to some really good friends that had some relatives start the tree. And the 15-year-old girl was transgendering to a boy. And the 13-year-old, her little sister, just discovered she was a lesbian.
Yeah, that's too young to do that. That's bullshit. That's just... I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. Rates are inching up. It can be a bad thing, but not with ideal home loans because you got to get a loan, right? If you're buying a home. And if you're doing that, Ideal can at least give you that interest rate guarantee. So if they go down, you refinance free of charge. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000, 867-7000. The interest rate guarantee, the only one with a 2-year interest rate guarantee. If it drops by as little as 0.75%, you get refinance free, and then you get a brand new 2-year guarantee. IdealHomeLoans.com. All right. 303-713-TALK. Suzanne. Okay. This is Charlie, a pediatrician. Hey, Charlie, have you called the show before? Yeah, I remember you were you had called and identified yourself as a pediatrician, and that's why I remember, because we don't get many pediatricians that call. So, Charlie, what is your comment on this G-tube when Children's Hospital said, well, you know, we can't just put it back in. We're going to keep the baby overnight on fluids to keep him hydrated, and then meanwhile try to get a hold of the surgeon. I mean, that's being conservative, right? We're really done with Jessica. Well, let's put it another way. Do you think it would have been appropriate for the emergency room, knowing that the child had been on the G-tube, to just simply replace it, just put it back in? Well, the toddler was playing with the baby, and it got jerked out by mistake, obviously.
Sound.
Right.
Examining the patient, listening to the parent, et cetera, and you know, it's 6 of one and half dozen of the other. Being ultra conservative is one thing, and then going and getting another hospital. I don't know anything about the other hospital.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we needed to know is on what your opinion was. They're being ultra conservative. We haven't forgotten about Barry and Sherry. So Barry, the bottom line is this: will Home Depot step up for the damage that was done by the installers?
They actually said I needed a third party.
What do you mean a third party?
Lindstar is the one that they hired to install it.
Did they want you to go directly to them?
Yes, I went in and filed the next day claim because it took them 40 minutes to install a gas line.
All right.
And they damaged the first flex line and had to get another one. Then I was worried that they were stripping them.
Just hold on, because we're getting... And Sherry, we're going to talk to you off the air right now.
Hey, does this seem like Sherry, can you get Sherry, and let's get a phone number and call about the appliance. I mean, they should just replace it.
This is Dave Logan.
Her one?
Online Training Academy.
Here's the other thing I'm going to try.
For over 20 years. Sign up now for a free half-day class. Classes are limited. Online Trading Academy, the only financial educator.
Okay, Sherry's gone.
Reserve your free class by calling 303
She's gone.
547
I'm going to try,
or Trading Academy.
maybe we'll trade out with this company on referral list. Yeah.
Turn to Mark Simon.
For service
Mark
or for
Simon has been
everything?
helping Colorado for over 28 years. From small cases to the
And they'd
largest
still be
workers'
getting
comp
a
case in
hell of a
Colorado
deal.
history. Mark won't hand you off to a paralegal like most attorneys. He works personally with you every step of the way.
No spots, just
He's the
referrals.
lawyer I would call. 303-321.
No way, spots.
No, I thought you sometimes you find, but even though you do that, it's still jumps up the lot. And I haven't done anything for so I have to call him. He did call me.
They're on every other Thursday. Remember, we owe them one.
Russia getting a
He did
big
call
at
you?
the UN. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Many
it's been
countries,
screwed up.
including the U.S., condemning what Moscow did over the weekend,
What did Moscow
seizing
do?
3 Ukrainian ships. Fox's Simon Owen. with more
Taking
on.
shit.
To the U.S. ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, accusing Russia of another reckless escalation.
It is an arrogant act that the international community
Remember when they
must
shot that
condemn
jetliner
and
down?
will
Or
never
actually, they didn't, but
Russia
they
is
kind of
holding
did.
the 3 Ukrainian Navy ships and their crews.
Well, they saw them going over the border with the exact missile defense. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And it wasn't missile defense, it was missile offense, I guess.
Mine too are good.
Saying the ships had illegally
Complain on
entered
TSA.
Russian waters in an effort, he said, to provoke Russia.
They wouldn't let me carry my gun up.
The U.S. Customs and Border Patrol just confirming 69 arrests made yesterday at the U.S.-Mexico border during a confrontation with some of the migrants continuing to arrive in caravans from Central America. Officials defending the
They say
decision to use
thousands.
tear gas
You know,
as
the
some of the
other thing
migrants
is
rushed the
that
port
they-
entry.
Well, Obama used tear gas in 13, left and right at the border.
Did they?
Yeah. Notice how it's a problem now, but it was no problem in 13.
How about Canada? Would you like to go to Canada?
Why, that's what we should do. Doesn't Canada take everybody?
There is a major showdown.
I don't know if they do or not. My sister-in-law can't get into Canada. She had a shoplifting ticket and they turned her away. Isn't that fucked up?
Wow.
And her husband had a DUI. So they lived in upstate New York. They drive across. They flag him and they won't let him into Canada because she had a shoplifting and he had a DUI.
So did they?
Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah, and then all these people got all, I'm sure, countless kind of stuff, you know.
Tom has been really impressed with you guys. He's talked about you a lot here. Now I see why. You got what?
You got all the same shirts.
Yeah.
It's the gear.
Yeah.
You got all the shirts.
Okay. Now I get why he's.
Yeah.
And we're busy.
That's good to hear.
Which is John.
Oh, God.
He said a year.
Well, here it is right there. You see the Obama used to
I've been bragging on you a lot.
Right.
I hear that a lot. You know,
Well, that's where you get the fake news. Really, that's the fake news. It's all the way they
The
spin it.
Dems aren't really like, they're not really attacking terrorists. I mean, what do they expect? Thousands of people just to walk
What I'm
around.
saying is the way the media spins that Trump's just a badass. I mean, because he tear gas kids.
Been struck by lightning.
You know, that's
I
what
target that.
Rattlesnake bit.
You tear gas. You taught me.
Is it wrong? Is it wrong?
I like
You named it.
Yeah. Been bitten by everything that
I
walks.
mean, they leave.
Are you saying you come there?
Yeah, because when I got struck by lightning, two people beside me.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, we're probably the safest being out there because it's going to be
That's when they put me on the testosterone.
Is Sherry there?
This report is sponsored by 23 and me.
Wasn't 624.
Starting a shop for loved ones this holiday? Give your friends and family.
Did you talk to Sherry? No. I told you she's on there. Did you go get a number?
Suzanne said that she's already, the problem's already solved.
The problem already solved.
Yeah, someone on the show, the place has already said, no, they're not for sale.
Find out. She says she doesn't know.
So you can go to
Sherry
one of
was a
the
window?
warehouses where you're just a number, or you can
A
go to a
window
place
was
that treats
damaged.
you like a person.
What happened? We have to call her and put ahead of that. She paid $700
or from anywhere.
Try to get them to come on air too, man.
It's wholesale to you.
That's always, I mean, every call.
Yeah, I do. And you don't pay
pay for any more granite than what you use. Art of Granite supplies premier designer countertops
Exact
and
replay of
cabinets, a direct
2013.
importer of stone, granite, and quartz, and other natural stone. Artistic, skillful, and affordable. Be smart with granite. Think like granite. They are fabricators, the ones who turn natural stone into beautiful works of art. And now, if you call the Art of Granite, you get free bathroom vanity tops with the purchase of your kitchen. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. Art of Granite.
You wouldn't want to refinance your mortgage, but didn't want to start a new 30-year loan all over again?
So we don't really
Hey,
get
it's
them
Russ
on the
Kaminsky
air?
for my friends at American Financing, and let me tell you,
Just send them to our Home
when
Depot
we
agent.
finance to eliminate
let's talk
mortgage
to her.
insurance,
I
lower
mean,
your rate, or consolidate
But
interest
Sherry,
debt,
I don't
you
know.
have to
I
worry
mean,
about
the
resetting
window's
your loan
installed.
coverage.
She's
Because at
bitching because
American
it
Financing,
ultimately
they offer
costs her
10, 13,
$2,700 to solve it.
loans.
Now, we may need to help her with that, but I was just telling Clint, I don't think we're ready to follow up on that yet. So,
It's your mortgage.
I didn't think she had finished her story on the air, that's why. I didn't think so.
I love having, I love having the luxury of calling ahead. Every call I say, well, let's call on it.
And they say
well, let's call on
they
it.
say call the media relations. That's just so
No,
that's
but
how
what I'm
we've always
saying is,
handled
if
Home
he can
Depot.
do it ahead of time, if we can do anything ahead of time on anything, right, it would help. And since he's sitting here,
Yeah, I know, I agree
All
with
right,
that.
you can call Home Depot, then go for it.
yeah, I mean, just call him. I mean, if it's there, what's wrong with doing that? There's nothing wrong with doing
I know that, Tom.
No, I get it.
No, but Suzanne, all I'm saying is, if we have a chance to call ahead on any call, why not? I mean, because I'm getting tired of every call saying, well, let's make a call on that. Let's make a call on that. It would be cool to say, oh, by the way, while you were on hold, we called, they said, blah, blah, blah.
We don't get
if it's possible.
I think she's saying on the Home Depot ones, they send it off though. I think that's what she's gonna say.
I know.
The store managers, no one's allowed to talk to us. It goes to the agent.
It goes to the relations.
Home Depot might be an exception, is what you're saying, because
No, you've gone back and forth on this. Sometimes you want to hear it first and determine it's a real problem, then we get them on. Sometimes you want them on ahead of time.
Yeah.
Home Depot has never
No,
come
I
on
didn't
the
say I
air.
want. I said there's no harm in calling ahead of time. We may not want to. There may not be a problem we can help with, but there's no harm in you sitting here and calling ahead of time.
Sure. Okay, Clint, call Home Depot.
Okay.
Now, Tom Martino, the troubleshooter.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, and welcome to the only show of its kind where we are solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, and making your life a little easier. We have some guests today, the Hormone Bros, so welcome to them, and that is a place to go for BioT treatment and more. We'll be talking about that. If you have any questions, give us a call this hour, brought to you by Fix It 24/7. Fix It 24/7 is a company. I've had them out to my house a few times. In fact, just recently with a plumbing problem. I love their thoroughness. I love how they take care of your home like their own. I love that you get all prices quoted up front directly. I love that you only have to pay $39 to find a problem, and it's all for real. That's it. You got a problem? $39. You know, we had a couple problems, so they were there, and they did it all for $39. They said, this is this, this is this, this is what you need. A couple of things were minor. They didn't even charge. You might think, oh, that's for you. No, this is the way they handle things. And when they do the work, it has great value. Fix It 24/7, 720-526-3939 for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. 720-526-3939. FixMyHome.com. Okay, so listen. With the Home Depot complaint, we have two of them we're working on. One is where a window arrived damaged. Another is where the installers installed something and did some damage. So Barry was told to go to the installers directly. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, if Home Depot hired the installers, they should handle it for you in a pure world, in a perfect world. But Barry, did you call the installers?
I had to file the claims through Home Depot, through the insurance company, and then they said that they would call me in a couple days to schedule an inspection.
How much damage are we talking about?
The whole line, the flex line, the main line that's to the stove, they were wrenching on it and they twisted the line.
So what? That's nothing. The flex line goes from the hard line to the appliance. It's a nothing burger. What the hell's going on? Why are they making you fill out forms for an insurance company? Is that all we're talking about? Is a flex line?
It's the main line underneath the floor. They kept wrenching on the top where they were connecting the just the main line from the stove to the main connection on the floor.
Hold on. You're telling me that you have a flex line that goes hidden?
Underneath the floor, that they connect. That's how they install them now. They tap into the main line from under the floor with the flex line.
That's
into
right.
The main line.
The flex line goes to a hard line.
Yes.
Okay.
So they were wrenching on it, trying to put the line on from the stove to the floor, and they kept wrenching on it and twisting it, and they twisted the whole line underneath the floor.
Well, when you say underneath the floor, the flex line, you're telling me, connects underneath the floor where you can't see it?
Correct. There's a flex line underneath, and it's encased.
I'm not even sure if that's code, but I don't want to get into it.
It's code. I had a professional plumber come in and install it.
And he's installed, usually that connection has a valve on it to turn on and off, and it's
does
visible.
Have a valve underneath it as well.
Under the floor?
Yes.
You have an on and off valve hidden.
Underneath the floor, there's a shut-off valve where they connected it from the main line.
All right, Barry, when you say maybe, look, I don't want to belabor this, but are you telling me, can you reach down at any time and turn that valve off?
I have to go in the basement to shut it off.
Okay, then
and there's a valve also inside the in the kitchen.
Okay,
before
but Barry, I guess what I'm asking is, why the hell didn't he just replace the flex line? What is the big deal? A flex line is like 3 feet, maybe 5 feet, 6 feet.
The flex line is underneath the floor. It's about 15 feet long. It's the main line. They didn't put a steel pipe. It's a flex line.
When you say flex, is it the one that looks like an accordion? That flex?
No, it's a different. It's like that flex line that you connect the stove to the main connection, but it's a line underneath the floor that they tapped in to go up. It's not a steel pipe.
So you're
anymore.
saying in order to replace that, it's going to take some doing. Because
it's going to take a professional plumber to come down there. And the guy called me and from the Lindstar and said, what proof do you have that my guy's damaged it and everything? I said, well, you need to come out and look at it to see. But I said, I went underneath because it took 40 minutes to connect the line, which shouldn't have taken that long.
Well, apparently, if they installed it, they did replace the line, or did they or is it still leaking?
It's not leaking. It's so twisted that the gas barely comes on. I have to shut it off because I'm afraid of a leak.
So when you say it's damaged, you mean it's crimped?
It's crimped really bad underneath.
Okay, because he wrenched on it. He wrenched on it too tight, and it's crimped.
He twisted it right.
All right. So they won't step up. What will it cost to fix?
So I don't know. I got to get a plumber out there finally. But the whole moral to this whole thing is calling Home Depot for over 2 weeks and trying to get a store manager to call me or a district store manager.
Yeah.
They just won't give you any numbers. And finally,
well, we do have someone. Suzanne has.
So I finally called, got a hold of a manager on the 19th, and I told the store manager was on vacation, but she came back, and I
just get to what they did.
The manager the other day, and the guy says, well, she's busy, and they never let you talk to her. And I says, if you don't call me, if she doesn't call me back by next Tuesday, I'm calling the media and Tom Martino show.
Well, we can get this taken care of.
Wait, Tom, I
yes,
thought
Suzanne.
he ended it with me with, yes, they're going to pay for it to get fixed, but he's got to submit a receipt first.
So finally this morning, I called the Lindstar guy because he inspected it last
Just get to the point, like not the process. What did they say? End result, what did they say?
They said they'd get back to me. Never did, so I called this morning.
You're telling me a process. What's the end? The end. What did they say?
They said they'll pay for it to be fixed if I hire somebody. But the whole process, it takes over 2 weeks with a damaged gas line and with the recent explosion.
I understand these guys. I understand they frustrated the hell out of you. But the end result is, if you get it fixed and submit a receipt, they will pay for it?
Yes.
Did they put that in? Did they put that in writing?
No, they have to. I have to send them the bill first, and then I have to sign a release before they'll pay me.
Okay, but that part, is that in writing? What if you hire
some? It's not in writing yet. He just called me this morning and texted me the email number to send them the invoice when I get it fixed.
But I need to know if anywhere in those emails it says they will pay.
He says yes once they get the bill, and I sign the release.
Good. And you have no problem with that part, right?
No, I don't. But I mean, here it takes.
It was misery. I understand. It was misery, and it shouldn't have been. Okay, I understand that. But we don't normally, here's what we don't normally do, call them and say, look, you shouldn't have put this person through that misery. What we do is let other people know. And Home Depot, this is common. We get these complaints all the time about third parties. Home Depot does not stand behind their third parties. People need to know that. If you're going to have something installed by Home Depot, it's a problem, because they will not stand behind the third parties. They send you packing, which sucks. Now, I think if it was me and I had it done, I would take Home Depot to small claims court directly. Forget the installer. Let them worry about that. But you better make it clear that when you have something done, that Home Depot will take care of it, because they don't normally do it. Now, Suzanne says we have an angel at Home Depot that handles almost every complaint flawlessly. Is that right, Suzanne?
Well, the ones that are actual problems still,
right.
yeah.
Right, okay.
I mean, they fix what they can. I think Clint just tried to reach for the Sherry problem.
Okay, so what happened with Sherry? Because Sherry, this window that arrived and it was damaged, can the bottom line, did they refuse to fix it?
So I ordered the window.
Yes.
My installer came in. He's been installing windows.
We got
for
all
30
that part,
years.
but it was damaged, you're telling me.
Yeah, so they installed it the first time, and Dean said to me, the window's not right. It's damaged.
Gotcha.
And so I said, well, but he felt that maybe he could make it work. So I'm like, install it a second time.
How was it damaged, Sherry?
So it was almost as though the frame of the window was larger than the actual window panes, and we couldn't get the window to latch.
Now, are you talking more? Here's what I need to know: are you talking more of a defect in manufacturing or damage in transport or something? There's a big difference. Are you saying it was built terribly, or are you saying it was damaged?
You know what? I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know. Yeah.
Okay. So if you look at the window, what's apparent to you right off the bat?
Well, the window was crooked.
Mm-hmm.
The window would not latch shut. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what did they say they would do about it?
So after the second install, I went to the Boulder Home Depot, and I was told by a gentleman there that I should contact Milgard directly.
Oh, see?
So,
okay. This Home Depot sucks. I mean, we all go there, but they suck. They really suck, because they leave you hanging. Go to Milgard directly. About what? You bought the window from them. First of all, is the window at this point in place, or did your installer take it out?
So basically, the window that was damaged was installed 5 times.
The installer was trying to make it right, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, but did you finally remove it? Because if you took it back to Home Depot, they would probably take it back. Did you?
So the Milgard guy gave directions to my installer. He followed those directions. It still wasn't right. I said, do it again. So he installed it.
No, I understand that. You already said that 5 times. Yeah. I'm asking you if you ultimately removed the window.
Yes.
And
after the 5th install, a new window was ordered. The new window was in less than 60 minutes.
Okay. Now, the old window was returned to Home Depot.
Well, when I contacted Brian at Home Depot, he didn't get back with me, and I'm not a big person.
Where's the old window right now?
It's probably in a dump.
No, what I mean is, did you ultimately take it back to Home Depot?
Well, I wanted to take it back to Home Depot.
Is that a yes or a no? You never took it back to... Okay. You wanted to. They didn't get back to you. So your installer just threw it out?
Yeah, because I
okay,
can't
that's
lift
fine.
The window.
He threw it out.
Yeah.
I get it. But you do have a new window.
Yep, I do have a new window.
So what is the damage right now? That's what I need to concentrate on. Hold on. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Well, our lesson today is Home Depot sucks. Now, they ultimately take care of problems, but they suck. How else do I put it? Century RV, located in 2 places in the metro area, well, kind of outside metro if you count north. Go north on I-25. There's a turnoff to Longmont. It's the Highway 119. You'll find along Frontage Road a great big Sentry RV, what I love about it, they have a service department there to fit your big rig in there or your Class A, Class B, Class C. Here's what they do. They work on them. They sell them new and used. They also have an indoor facility, 32,000 square feet for selling new and used, out in Lakewood, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims. That's SentryRV.com, 303-453-1111.
I want you guys, this is really important that you hear this. Whenever I ask a question, I said, is the window back or this? And then she goes, they'll start. Well, when I bought the window, they start at the beginning. They have to tell a story. They will never tell you anything unless you hear the story. But listen, this is how it is when people walk into your clinic. People will remember every goddamn thing you did. They're going to remember the tattoo. They're going to remember what you were wearing. They're going to remember if you said hi to them first or not. And then when there is a tiny problem, if those precursors bother them, it's all going to come back. Things that you thought were insignificant would come back. If your office was cold, it will come back. If you made them sit on a seat that wasn't comfortable, it doesn't come back until they have this complaint in this timeline. Then they go back there and collect everything to justify this one. Right. So it's why I would get a call about a turn signal on a car, and the person wants the dealership to replace the entire car and give them damages. Not because of the turn signal, but because of all those precursors. It is so amazing.
She made this window thing so hard. They mismeasured. The opening was about
everyone thinks in stories. Everyone does. But that gives you a brilliant opportunity to create the story, to create it from the time they come in. There is no small detail ever, not one small detail. And I hope you guys control the entire experience. And if you say, yes, you do, I know you don't, because people don't ever think that way. I mean, right down to the reading material you have while they're waiting or what they're doing. And it is so amazing the recall that people have. I mean, this woman, she wanted to tell us about every phone call. Do you notice? And then he put me on hold, and then I had to call back. And when I called back, that guy wasn't there, and then another guy. And it has nothing to do with the problem at hand.
She never got to the two things that she should have told you. The opening was measured wrong. It was out of square. So when they put the window in, it racked it out of squares why it wouldn't close right.
How do you know that?
I talked to this Brian in Boulder.
Who's Brian? The installer?
The sold it to her.
So
anyway,
what do you mean sold it?
The window should have been.
The Home Depot guy you talked to?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
The Home Depot salesperson came and talked to you?
He talked to me. Yes, he talked to me.
Good.
The opening was out of square. They should have caught that when they measured it, because when they're out of square, they have to make a smaller window to shim.
So
here's the wrong
this was a custom-made window?
Yeah, it was fitted for her house.
But it was made square.
It was made square. They make them square, but they make them, if the opening's out of square, they can shim them.
But the installer, why did the other one take only 60 minutes to put in?
Because it was made slightly smaller, so it fit right in without racking the window out of square. You shim it.
Okay.
And then the other mistake they made, they said they'd give her $500 when they pick up the other window, and the installers threw the window away.
But she said she tried to get it out.
I don't know.
So, but the window is fixed. What is her damage?
The $500 she didn't get back from returning the other window.
Suzanne, where did you get $2,700?
First of all,
that's what it cost them.
The extra, I can't hear you. The extra installation cost, was that what it is? Yeah, that. So this guy charged her every time he tried to install it.
A window had a crooked opening. The damn installer should have figured that out right away. You just stick it in and racks it crooked.
That was Home Depot's fault. That sounds like that.
I know.
No, it wouldn't be. She doesn't want to hear that.
No, it's her installer.
You're right.
It's not Home Depot subcontractor put them in either. It's her subcontractor.
It's her subcontractor.
It's whoever measured the window at first.
Is he the one that measured it?
I don't know who measured. I think Milgard measured it. I think they did mess up on the measure. So they're supposed to measure and check square.
Wait, how do you know Milgard did that?
I don't.
Okay.
I said I think they did. I don't know.
Got it. So, measurement?
Usually the window company comes and
I see
measures.
this Cortez.
Not for one window.
Well, coming up here,
this
just
was
like
on one window.
How many? Holocaust.
Two picture windows and a door.
She said
One
three
window
actually
and
was
a
what you call it.
Yeah.
The House, the Senate, and the President. And she's going to be a representative for New York. She doesn't even understand.
Do you know what I've noticed? Whether, listen guys, I'm serious. Oh, never mind. I got to tell you about a trend. Hi, I'm Tom Martino. The HormoneBros.com are with us. By the way, Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ, I just had a conversation the other day about them and recommended them to somebody. If you want straight, beautiful teeth, you can get veneers, but they cost like, for a whole mouth, I'm not kidding you, 50 or 60 grand. In 2 years, you can get your mouth, your palate widened, even as an adult. They thought at 50 they could not widen their palate. You can. They use these mouthpieces in adults that you wear. They're hidden, but they expand your palate. Gradually, your teeth will go into place, but they force them along, and that's a bad word, toward the end with Invisalign braces. The whole process is 2 years, and you get straight, beautiful teeth without surgery and extractions. Dr. Kent Lawson pioneered the new orthodontics, proving that the palate can be moved even later in life. It does not fuse as people believe, and he has thousands of cases to prove it. If you're interested in straight, beautiful teeth for a few grand as opposed to 50 or 60, you will be amazed. 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100. He has the new orthodontics. By the way, Dr. Kent Lawson at Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ also has a process for children, which is even more remarkable. My children will likely not even need braces because of these mouthpieces they wear at night. Listen, Sherry, we have been able to gather a lot of information, and I just want to get right to it. We have different processes in a window chain. Measurement, which gives you an opening, and a window. The opening is already there, I should say, then the measurement, okay? And then the window. So I'm going to ask you some questions. And Sherry, I don't need like any background, but I just need to know who measured for the window.
My handyman who
installed it. Good. He measured.
No, it was my other handyman,
Okay.
but then he moved to Wyoming, and I
Gotcha.
had to have someone else install it.
Okay, gotcha. So your handyman measured, and then you then got a window. According to Home Depot, according to them, the first window that came in was not defective. It just was too big for the opening because the opening was out of square. Now, by the way, this is not a debate. I'm telling you what they're saying, so I don't need back and forth. I just want you to know they're saying the opening was out of square. Therefore, the window should have been made a slightly smaller and then shimmed into place. And that's why the second window only took 60 minutes to install, or less than 60 minutes, because it fit right in and he was able to shim it. So somewhere along the line, it's not, if Home Depot is telling the truth, if the first window was not measured correctly, then the whole thing was a problem. But your installer, and by the way, your installer, if he tried 5 times, did he charge you for each time?
Well, I got a discounted rate on the first 4 installations. So
how much did he charge? How much would the installation have been if the window came in and he installed it? What was the original quote?
Well, that also included another window that I purchased.
Okay. What was it for both? Okay. How much for all installation?
Well, the
original
was
quote
for $13.20
for 3 openings.
Yes, to install all of those 3 things.
$13.20. So roughly, the installation cost would have been about $400, roughly.
Roughly. Mm-hmm.
And it ended up costing how much for that window alone?
Approximately $2,000.
Okay.
The final install of the damaged window was $660.
The final install with the good window.
Yeah, no. Of the 5th install of the damaged window.
Okay, the 5th one. Okay.
So, but altogether, you paid $2,000 for a job that should have cost around $400.
Pretty much, yep.
So if we go by math, you incurred $1,600 in damages because the window, you said, was defective.
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't right, yes.
Okay, now, the only way I could help you is if we could examine the window, because either the window is right or it's not. If that opening was not measured correctly, then they should pay you $1,600. Well, actually not even that, because truly your installer should have said, the window is not measured correctly, we need to send it back and get another one. So it's not all Home Depot's fault. That's if right. the thing. So I can't determine that because the window is in the dump. So it's really an impossible situation. Your original handyman could have mismeasured. That's a possibility. It's also a possibility that it was defective, but there's no way for us to know at this point. Really, truly, I don't know what we could possibly gain. But I will say this, under no circumstances should your installer, unless you forced them, honest to goodness, should your installer have done 5 installs, that installer should have told you right off the bat that this window will not work. And I don't understand what he was trying to accomplish each time. And really, I'd be upset with that installer that he kept doing it. Unless you said, Sherry, make it work.
Well, he told me day one that the window was not right. And then I asked him to reinstall the window a second time.
Okay, so you did ask him to do it a second. Why the 3rd and 4th and 5th?
Because I went to Home Depot and I was told
what were you told?
The window and tell what needs to be done to get the window to be right, because the window should be fine.
And the window was fine according to them. So here's what we're at an impasse right now, Sherry. Maybe we all learned something, but I will tell you that if I am ever going to have windows done, I would insist on the window distributor or salesman or contractor, the one who is manufacturing or representing the manufacturer, do the measuring. And then that takes you and your installer out of the equation. I know you didn't call to hear this, but truly, Sherry, we can't even check to see if the window is defective because it's at the dump. And I know you're saying you tried to get it back to them. It was a comedy of errors. Anyone else going through this right now, if you have a problem, please call us before the problem develops any further. At your first sign of trouble, please call us, please. We want to help you. Suzanne, who was holding longest? I see D, but who else? Who was holding longer? Okay, Mike. Mike, what's going on with you, Mike? Welcome to the show. What's happening?
Thank you, Tom. By the way, I was your common man about 3 months ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, what did you enjoy? Oh, you were our common man.
Yes.
Okay,
3 months ago.
Let's see, what do you do? I'm trying to picture you.
I'm with Remax and a jazz musician.
Yes, you were a weirdo. I like you.
Oh, thanks.
So what's going on with you?
Well, I was the lucky recipient of a bag search by the TSA when I went to Seattle to visit my son.
Okay, so what's the problem? What is the complaint?
I discovered that I had $300 that was in there that is not there now.
Really? It was cash?
I called TSA, yeah.
How was it? Was it disguised? Did you have it buried somewhere?
Yeah, inside a tennis shoe.
Really? And inside an envelope inside a tennis shoe, or what?
Not an envelope.
You know, they have cameras on all of that.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah, if you put in a complaint, they will look into it.
Okay. Well, before I called them, I wanted to call you first.
No, they will really look into it. They have cameras. I mean, they don't put up with that stuff. If somebody came through that and they just pocketed it, it'll be on camera.
Okay.
I mean, or he might have covered it with his body or something, but it will give credence to your complaint. Did you complain to anyone yet?
Not yet. I called you first.
Okay. You may think they don't take these things or they take them lightly. They don't. But you need to do an official complaint, and you need to do it with their process. There's a written way to do it.
Yeah.
And then
I have a tag here, yeah, that shows.
And would you please let us know what happens during the process? Mike, I'd love to say we're going to call and all that, but the first thing they're going to say is, did he put in a complaint? Because that's what's going to trigger the video. Now, Julie has a problem with an Arctic track, and Dee has a problem with her husband being sentenced. Now, Dee, just quickly, when is your husband being sentenced?
December 6th.
And what is the problem with that, other than he's, it's too bad? I mean,
Well, the problem with it is, Tom, that what he's being sentenced for is a habitual case, and one of the cases that they are trying to say he is habitually offended on was a case involving a hardwood floor company that you had done a story on a while back. He had worked for this company, and it's bogus charges. So.
Okay, so wait. So we're not really the habitual thing is going to make the sentence harsher, and you're saying it wouldn't be habitual if it was not for this one false accusation?
That's correct.
Why didn't he fight the false accusation?
Well, when you're looking at something like that and they offer you a deal, versus fighting.
But he knew he had 2 other strikes, right?
No, this was prior to that. And what they're trying, he's getting railroaded by Jefferson County all the way around. He's innocent of what he's been accused of right now.
That false complaint was where in the line of the complaints? First, second, or third?
I can't. I think it's maybe the third. The other 2 were when he was
that's what I'm
younger.
getting at. When he made this deal for the third plea, he knew he had 2 other offenses.
And I can't be positive on the order that those go in either. So
okay.
I'm not positive about that. I just know that had it not been for this bogus charge because of this guy, that he wouldn't be facing this habitual at all.
All right, hold on. Ooh. We were talking about windows, and Buy and Build is a place to go for so many supplies. Now, they don't have a lot on windows, but if you're looking for countertop material, if you're looking for cabinets, especially plumbing fixtures, electrical fixtures, sinks and bathtubs, all of that, floor coverings, any kind of hardwood floor, laminates, engineered flooring. If you're looking for vinyl, you're going to find below wholesale pricing, 4800 Washington Street, buyandbuild.net. It is simply you will never find prices lower, never, than Buy and Build. It's that simple if they have what you want. And they're constantly getting in new inventories. He buys containers at a time. Buyandbuild.net. Don't do any home improvements without at least checking with them. 4800 Washington Street. That's Buy and Build.
The window thing, did everybody make a mistake?
I mean, honestly, everybody. It's a measure, and then but the installer says it's not going to work.
Yeah, and he keeps doing it. He keeps insisting, and
he should have held his ground and said,
everybody.
People said, no, this is professional. It's not going to work.
You should turn off the window.
Yeah. And like I said, what is he trying to accomplish doing it 5 more times? He's wanting him to, like, we're getting the same result.
Releases the nerve pressure and allows your
What's the
body to
definition?
relax.
Crazy trying to something over and over and getting expected different results.
No, we did construction, we've installed plenty of windows, we've worked at Home Depot. He worked in the windows.
Yeah, I ordered.
Yeah,
That stuff's gotten so cheap. If you look at their MacBooks and stuff, they're nothing crazy.
I will order per witness.
They might be a little cheaper than online.
Unless
These
you
aren't really Windows
want them to come out and measure. Unless you want them to come out and measure, they will.
Well, you need somebody to come out.
Yeah, although I saw the iPad,
Just like, because that guy was
Black Friday was
no guard line come out.
$249.
What size? Oh, absolutely.
Little one.
If it's wonky, that's
I don't know what small is 10,
I love
8.
iPads. It's not going to iPad saves that. Exactly. You guys. What else have you guys done? Can you just hold on a second? You guys come in here every day. Yeah. You've done it all.
Yeah, no, the construction.
I put mine for on hold. Hey, Tom? Yes. Tell them I know why you're impressed with them now.
Oh,
They're impressive.
Oh, they're fun, aren't they?
Well, no, they're
He used to work at Home Depot.
3 brothers are there, and
Got
they walk in, they're
Yeah, but
fun,
but they're really well rounded.
Yeah, it's fun.
And
It's a good atmosphere.
Friday.
Good atmosphere.
And
But yeah, we'll definitely.
Tell more about this stem cell thing. We're gonna send you. You know,
I want to.
I can help you on a cause.
Okay. Yeah, he's done a lot of research into it. He's gone to all the seminars.
Okay.
Talk about art.
Yeah, it can get. You know, I don't want to change your business. You guys need to make one.
No, right. That's why
It's going to be incongruent, though. I tell people to avoid those clinics.
Sure.
Eventually get it up. But yeah, we're doing that.
I don't want to be one of those clinics.
Even if I don't promote that part of your business,
But you're the
like
first
I'm sending people every
non-chiropractor.
5 to you, and you say, oh, and by the way, we have stem cells, and you don't.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, no, and I don't want to be associated.
Of course you don't.
Because I want results.
Of course you don't.
I want results.
Now, here's the deal.
The only permanent
Can a nurse practitioner extract stem cells? I'm not sure.
To extract, I'd have to look into the scope of practice.
I'm not sure.
We can do the injection process. We can do all that. You don't have to. We are going to get guided imagery.
He says if you don't get guided, I mean, these are things that
obviously you're not going to get more accurate results, and we are going to get the ultrasound.
Don't ever be sold on the systemic stem cells.
Like the IV? Yeah.
I think eventually there's going to be
they're not magic
food that a bunch of companies are going to throw at you guys.
Yeah.
If anything, Chris probably undersells it because they're not magic. He says, you know,
How much is that stick?
in the real spot doesn't always clone.
Well, of course, so many things can go wrong.
Amazon would be a company that can have.
No, that's why we mentioned it.
How much
success
you
can to access your equity for that unexpected emergency.
And with PRP, you don't need interest mortgages. Like
720.
Yeah, because we've been doing this. But I've been using it with like microneedles and stuff like that. We've been using
They still have a go on into serious scenario.
I didn't want it on one treatment.
You look like you haven't got a beard.
I feel like it's been probably about 4 months, so I know it's taking a bit longer, but just right up again.
Where is that headed?
You know, it takes a little bit longer to see some results most of the time, but huge, you know,
Yeah.
It's strapless.
Well, I mean, that's why.
And you know what? It's an area that you guys need to follow because it's the future.
It really is.
Now, what is that? I want to do, it's the future. If you could,
I want to do it the right way there.
you'd have to have some help inside.
So you can cover up your arms, maybe have like a little cape, like a cape, should have a cape.
We've been talking to people living in
They should allow.
I wouldn't want to say anything in front of everybody.
And send them out. How can they be any more than a drug and blood? That's bullshit.
Yeah, you're right.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. I am your troubleshooter. If you are in an accident and this weather is conducive to accidents, you have to call John Fuller, Fuller Law. John Fuller will answer your questions if you've been injured. He can tell you if you have a minor case, a major case, an ultra major case, if you can do things on your own, what you should do, what you should not do. So you should call immediately. It's that simple. Answers. And he's not going to say, pay me now, answers later. He will answer your questions. Even when you hire him and make it official, there are no charges unless he collects for you. PersonalInjuryCO.com, and he is your personal injury expert. He is. And he does that for us and for his practice and for you free of charge. 303-597-4500. 597-4500. Just, he advocates for you. There's whether or not you hire him, he will advocate in all of the answers he gives you, and he looks out for your interests. 303-597-4500, personalinjuryco.com. Let's keep going here. And I want to remind you the Hormone Bros are here, and I will get more into some cool stuff they're doing. Not just the BioT, but facelifts, thread lifts. They're misunderstood. What are they really for? The threads themselves are temporary, but on purpose. But why would you do something temporary on purpose? They're going to tell you. Now, D, let's get to your husband being sentenced, because many times, of course, we can only refer you. We can't really get directly involved many times because the adjudication has already come and gone, and the appeals process is gone and all of that. So if he's being sentenced, is he being sentenced on which of the charges? On the latest charge, which is triggering the 3 strikes, or what? Do you know?
The sentencing is for that. He took that to trial. We've filed a motion for
no, but
for a new trial.
the sentence he's being charged, the sentencing he's getting, is it for one charge?
There's 2 separate cases, Tom. There's the sentencing for the one charge, and then there's the habitual criminal case that we are also fighting.
I understand that, but the one charge he's being sentenced for, that sentence will be predicated on whether or not he's habitual.
That's correct.
So you're trying everything you can not to have him be habitual. What would the consequence be of being habitual, having the 3 strikes? I know for different crimes there are different payments. I don't know what he has to do. What is it?
This would be spending the rest of his life in jail.
So
He's 34 years old and
are
innocent
we
of
talking about
crime.
3 strikes and life?
Yes.
Wow. What class felony do you have to qualify for a lifer?
Well, you just have to have 3 felonies.
No, I don't think class 6 felonies will get you life, but I don't want to go. Go ahead.
He's being put on habitual on a class 5 and 6. He's really being railroaded. It's quite.
Listen. I don't know if he's being railroaded, but let me just tell you something, D. Really, honest to God, I'm just going to tell you this because you're wasting your time if you think he's being railroaded. That the last thing in the world prosecutors and judges and people want is another person spending their life in prison. They do not want that. They're not in a hurry to do that, and they're honest to God, they just don't do it. There's no reason for them to want your husband to spend his life in jail. Now, you are fighting mainly the habitual criminal thing. So they're considering 3 felonies. So these felonies, are they already adjudicated? Was he already found guilty on 3 felonies, or is one still up for grabs?
He was found guilty on the 3 felonies, but one of them was.
I understand. What were the felonies you're not contesting? What were they?
There is conspiracy to commit a crime. It wasn't even a crime that was committed. It was conspiracy to commit something, and all of which.
Conspiracy to commit something? What was it for? What? I need it. Listen, D, I understand if you don't want to talk about this, but I can't help or even direct you unless I know what we're talking about. What? Just flat out, what was the first felony or a felony? Give me one of the felonies. A conspiracy for what?
Conspiracy to commit burglary.
Okay. And he was found guilty on that, or did he plea?
He pled.
Okay. He pled guilty. And did he do it?
I don't know the circumstances under the.
Okay.
I really don't know.
Fair answer. What's the other felony?
The other felony was a theft.
Okay. And what was that? A theft of what? Do you know?
Well, I don't know any. I really am drawing a blank here. I'm kind of on the spot.
Okay. All right. Do you guys live together?
We do.
Okay. But this theft charge, how far apart was it from the conspiracy?
Years.
Years. Okay. And what was the other felony that you're contesting?
The one that we are contesting is the theft or the identity theft, I believe, something of that nature with this guy that he worked for at this hardwood floor company.
Okay. Now, this hardwood floor company, now you said it had something to do with me, so tell me what you're talking, or my list, or tell me what's going on with that.
You had done a story on him a few years back.
I did a story on your husband?
No, on the hardwood floor company.
What was the hardwood floor?
I believe it was Infinity Hardwood Floor. I can't be positive. It was out of Parker, and this guy was screwing over his customers and his employees.
So it wasn't someone on the referral list. It was someone I was going after.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. And he was somehow screwing customers, and your husband worked for him.
Exactly. He was, and yes. Exactly.
And you're saying that this guy at the hardwood company trumped up some charge against your husband.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So it was identity theft. And did your husband plead to it?
I believe that he did.
Okay. So here's the problem. He already pled guilty to it. So right now, they're trying to, which one is he being sentenced for? This ID theft? Is that the one he's going to be sentenced for?
No, he's being sentenced for something different, but this is the habitual sentence. That is the one that those 3 felonies are what's...
Now, you say he's being sentenced for something in addition to those 3?
Yes, that's what he got.
What is the other thing? What is that? Was it a felony or a misdemeanor? The other thing.
It was another felony, but he's completely innocent, and he's going to have an automatic appeal and the motion for a new trial because they cited 44 violations of civil rights during the trial.
So, D,
but we're still fighting that.
You need an attorney.
Okay.
Honest to God. I mean, really, listen, D, most of the time when people say they're being railroaded and they're facing 4 felonies, they're not being railroaded.
I understand that.
D, I'm not trying, and honest to goodness, you didn't call me to get preached to, and you didn't call me for me to say, your husband, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say that, you know, but obviously there's something going on. You know, your husband is facing 4 felonies, and according to you, there's an explanation for each one of them. But
that's correct.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't happen in real life usually. Usually people aren't in a position to face 4 felonies, maybe 1. I mean, people can be falsely accused of something or misidentified, but not usually.
And by no means am I saying he's not guilty to anything. I'm saying that the crime that he is being sentenced on now, he is completely innocent of, and the felony that he's getting this habitual life sentence on at 34 is something that he is not guilty of. And
okay, so 2 of them he's not guilty of, because even if the ID theft one goes away, he's still facing habitual, because we're facing 4 felonies, so he has to do away with 2 of them not to be habitual.
No, he just needs 1 to not have the habitual case, because this felony, A, we're still fighting, and B, he would have to do another crime in order for this felony to qualify for the habitual.
What is the felony he's currently facing, the 4th one? It's
a lot of things. Robbery, kidnapping, just a bunch of things that we're still in the appeal process and filing a new motion for a new trial. So
I have to take this break. Hold on.
This report is sponsored by 23andMe.
Taking a look at the drive across the metro area freeway system, for the most part, you're going to be in pretty good shape. So if you're heading out for the lunch hour early, you're going to have a wide open drive on I-20.
She is really believing her husband is not guilty. I don't see anything about it. These are pretty badass on here. I mean, these are...
It's the kidnapping.
There is no... Yeah, that's the kind of shit on 1, 2, and 3. There's no... There's no bullshit. First degree arson.
Yeah, obviously,
I'm going to refer to Joe Lazaro.
Second degree murder. Second degree kidnapping.
Yeah.
First degree kidnapping.
With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner.
Sex offense causing bodily injury.
Let's get his name and date of birth and do a run background check quick and see what he really has.
Because she's saying she doesn't know.
Get her in see if we can get information for a background check.
Treason.
Tell her we want to look into the case and then get his DOB and all that. Just tell her that. We want to look into the case. And we need that information. And then I want to come back and talk to her.
Is Daphne here today?
I guess you could treason upon the state.
I assume it is, right? Felonies are, I mean...
Felony doesn't make it federal.
No, but you have federal crimes that are felonies.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying on a state level.
Well, this is
treason.
State?
Yeah, it's Colorado state.
Okay.
So I guess it could be treason against the governor.
That's an odd charge.
In a state.
Yeah. My heart really, honest to God, goes out to people like her because they're blinded.
Yeah. The habitual criminal statute is bad.
Why is it bad?
Well, because
sometimes it puts people away for life.
You can, Mark.
These are fucking serious crimes, man.
Mark, in Florida, though,
I understand the drug cases.
No, in Florida, man, fucking bad checks and some consumer crime can put somebody away for life. I mean, it's incredible what rises to the level. You're thinking,
hey, man, Singapore, they'll fucking beat the shit out of you if you spit. No one spits.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Obviously, you know the laws if you've been through the system.
Right, exactly.
And so you know you mess up 1, 2,
and these aren't these are like serious crimes, and you have to do 3 of them.
Yeah. Right. And you knew that, and now you have kidnapping on it too. Like
any cop to.
You know what you're getting into.
I think that's very good.
She says we're fighting it, but does she have an attorney?
They're fighting the fourth one.
How do you fight them without an attorney?
They probably get appointed.
Yeah, the guy in the cell next door to him.
He's really
He's
good
getting his law degree.
He's really good at reading.
He's almost there.
Just another 12 years.
Yeah.
Some of the public defenders are pretty good. They're
some are very good.
I don't like
Marcia Clark.
I mean, you know, I'd like to say, are you fucking
She's prosecutor.
but you can tell she is just hurting. I mean, that woman is just like trying.
Well, yeah, her hubby's going away for the rest of his life.
She's a victim like everybody else.
Right.
Will she get conjugal visits though?
No.
I don't think
any states have it, do they?
You'll get conjugal? Really?
I don't think so. I don't know.
George got
Look it up if anybody has.
Why would every state ban it?
Yeah, I've never heard of.
I've heard of people getting married in jail.
I've heard it was a myth. I'll tell you, people in jail that shouldn't be in jail right now are the Menendez brothers. Those guys should not be in life.
Who killed their parents?
Yeah, if you look at that whole case, on what those guys have
Oh, so they were abused?
Oh
I never
my
watched
God, the level of abuse is unconscionable.
Was it just their word, or was it other people?
No, they did when they did this docudrama. Apparently, they talked to everyone. It was well done. You should see it. It's a good story. It's a limited
Only
series.
4 states:
California, Connecticut, New York.
Of course,
Washington.
California.
And they're really, it's referred to as...
In California, you go to the health food store.
And only happen in medium or lesser security.
There's like 15 different reports on this guy. Do you want me to print them all for you to look at, or yeah?
Well, hold on. I mean, you can talk about him. Can you skim and talk, or do you want to email him?
Let me see if I understand.
Or email.
It's the guy next door.
It's Bob. You want to come?
My daughter, those kids that are really messed up that my daughter works with, she says there's a 100% of them.
Okay, listen. The Raleigh House is very important during this time of year. The Raleigh House is for addiction treatment, substance abuse treatment, alcohol, prescription drugs, illegal drugs, meth. Okay, here's the point. This is the worst time of year for people who are addicts. If you have an addict in your life, you need help. And that's what the Raleigh House is doing. They've established this line for people who have addicts in their life who need information. Yeah, you may want to get them to treatment. Maybe Raleigh House is not a good fit. Maybe it is. The Raleigh House will be open about it. So talk to them. Ask them about cost. Ask them about availability. Ask them about options. Ask them about other treatment. Ask them about how to approach your addict and what to look for as far as telltale signs. TheRaleighHouse.com, and here's that number, free, true, confidential. 720-893-5559. And that's TheRaleighHouse.com. So, Dee's husband, he's just facing a crap load of trouble, okay? She didn't call to hear that. She knows it. But there is no way, Dee, no way you guys can do this without an attorney. Is your husband represented?
He is by ADC.
Is that a public defender?
It is like a public defender. He has a co-defendant in the case who was granted the public defender. He got the alternative defense counsel. So it's a private attorney that is put on like a public defender.
Now do you like the guy?
Not really. We're not. It's a woman, but
a woman. Okay.
No, we just couldn't afford with the.
Now, what you can afford, Joe Lazzara is on a referral list. And, you know, he's not going to represent anyone free, but he will answer questions and take a second look. And he's a great guy. And now Joe, he will do that for us if you say I was on the show, and you give him a case number, or and just now listen. All he will do is give you some information on whether he thinks it's being handled properly. He's at 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200. Now listen, we'll get you all of his information. It's LazzaraLegal.com. And by the way, for those listening, the number one thing he does, DUI, you can avoid by simply not drinking and driving. I mean, it's that simple. Now, we're going to have him take a second look at this. You're going to give us a case number. D, again, you didn't call for a ration of crap, but I'm going to tell you, you could
you could be barking up the wrong tree. It could be that this is going to happen. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
And even best case scenario, he may go away for a very long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to give a call to Joe and then call us back and just tell us how it went. We did pull some records. We'll have them coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Walk into one of your friend's house and you're like...
I think our whole prison system sucks.
Our whole what? It's definitely not reform.
They should have schools in there. They should force everyone to work 12 hours a day.
Look what Ian did in Spanish prison.
That wasn't Ian.
Oh, yeah, it was Ian. They had...
right, but I mean, that was it. I mean, if they force people to work, and then they have to take classes, so they get reform, so they come out, they're able to do
They
something.
couldn't do that in Colorado now. They passed that one bill in that passed
Which one?
where they can't.
No slavery.
No
slavery.
No, but see, they pay them. So they just can't
So
force
it's
them to
not
work for
slavery. They just
Right.
pay you little.
Very little.
Very
Right.
little.
Well, that's what they do right now.
They do that anyway.
Yes, they do that in
Which starts to get into the indentured servitude.
But right now,
Exactly.
if you force, or if you have them work, it's cruel and unusual to force them to work while they're in there.
That's what I'm saying. You can't right now. So
Well, I would say you work or it's solitary.
Right, yeah.
I'm in agreement, but there's unfortunately...
But there's some people you don't want working. You're not going to put Charles Manson out there on the
I
don't want him working.
Yeah. There are prisons that have a lot less recidivism
Yeah,
rate than we do.
Dan's house this weekend.
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona. Yeah, Joe,
Joe. They do good. Arizona's got good.
Oh, he'll dress them up in pink.
You get dressed up in pink. You sleep in tents. I mean, he had a lot of different things that, that people fought, and he gave them PB&J. Like there was no like fancy meals and stuff. Fancy meals. But he had one of the lowest recidivism rates in the nation. But because of all these things, he was attacked.
They'd think twice about committing a crime.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, they should be allowed to build skills so that they can out, they can do something.
Yeah.
Besides, hey, I can pick this lock faster.
Unhumane.
Yeah.
Like you're in prison.
You know those guys down there, though, if you're
Denver votes on safe
I walked up to the chain gang and I let them talk injection. They
That must
want
be
to
where you
get
go
on chain
shoot
gang
up
because
your
they
own
get
heroin.
Yeah. And they put those chain gangs in front of schools. They put them on the highway. They put them in the highest visibility areas. And, what he did work. And but
Yep, look at that. They are.
we don't have the stone
I
for
just
it.
don't know what to say on that.
But I talked to the prisoners down there. I walked up to them, talked to them. They let me. I mean, the guys are on chain gangs.
It'd be the first city in the country, of course.
It's just,
But they let me talk. Well, I was talking.
of course, if you look at San Francisco, you talk to everybody from San Francisco, and I'm talking to anybody.
And back then,
They
we had
hate
the
it.
border problem.
There's needles everywhere.
Yeah,
Shit.
to look at the border problem down there and talk to the Arizona and the law enforcement down there.
But they deserve it.
But God, Sheriff Joe was the president. He was kind of an arrogant bastard, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure. But that said, he did accomplish a lot.
Yep.
I know you probably won't believe this, but we did work in prison as well.
You guys did
Initially.
those two.
I did, as an RN. As a nurse.
What did you?
Yeah, in Arkansas Valley, it's crazy.
Women's prison or man? I want to do the women's prison.
I did, it was a men's prison, and then I did work as a women's intake.
Women's isn't that scary.
Is it scary?
It's not that scary.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, man, you feel like, all right, if someone goes down, I can take them.
Pardon me, on T with the husband, the latest charge, there were 31 charges on that man. Now, a lot of them were dropped and all of that, but
We want to look.
For some kind of criminal episode.
it's nuts.
I mean, can you email it?
I can try.
But you know those charges, a lot of times they'll just throw charges out.
Well, he may have a criminal episode where he kidnapped somebody and they when they call it an episode.
Right. So you can go there. They'll supply you the needles. You shoot up by yourself, and they'll even have nurses and supervisors on hand.
Oh, you're talking about the
in case
shoot-up
you
center.
overdose.
They have Narcan there.
They're all in, they're all in Seattle too. now.
What if you go there and you
They
don't?
said it'd be the first in the country here.
Will they loan you drugs if you don't have any?
They'll supply the heroin.
I don't think it's a really bad idea.
As soon as I get shot,
Damn drug thing is more of a health issue issues.
I'm gonna go do.
Right.
Go knock over
There's some good that comes from it, obviously.
At the same time, though, you're taking, and one of the biggest risks of doing it is overdosing, and you're basically, and by having, professional, providers there, you're taking that away.
With Narcan.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to happen to, push the limit and OD, they're right there to bring you back.
Clint, do you carry one of those?
That's odd.
Do you carry one of those Narcan in the process?
No, it might not be a bad idea.
That is.
I
see
I know where I can. What is that promote?
Narcan's just a name.
Well, it doesn't promote. That's a brand name. Right. But you know that this drug is the #1 lifesaver in drug overdoses. It'll take you from death, from literally.
Is it like an EpiPen?
Yeah. It comes in different forms, but the great thing about it, it immediately evacuates your opiate receptors immediately. So if you're having trouble breathing, you immediately are clear, but you're sick as a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
You are out of it. You are cold.
How does it work? Probably as sick as I was this week.
The way it was explained to me, it goes to your opiate receptors in your brain and clears them out. So anything binding to it is completely gone. So the opiates literally have no effect instantly. And you do it in a muscle.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. This is the Troubleshooter Show, really the only show of its kind anywhere and the longest running radio show on the air with the same host. That's right, #1. This hour brought to you by a crazy business, Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. I say crazy because, listen, when it comes to transmissions, if you don't go to them, you're crazy. That doesn't mean you'll have the work done by them. I meant go to them. Now, listen, we have plenty of great people on the referral list. We do. But Budget A1 has the best offer I have ever seen. Julie has a problem with Arctic Track. Kevin, he received a form and wants to warn other businesses. And Dee, we were talking about her husband being sentenced as a lifer because of 3 strikes and you're out. And then Roger has a problem with the mail carrier. Now, Budget A1, this offer, listen to this, guys. If you have any problems whatsoever with your transmission and you suspect there's transmission trouble and there's a likelihood you'll get it fixed, okay? I mean, truly, you got to at least think, okay, I want to get it fixed. They're not going to just do exploratory stuff, but you're not obligated. They will open up your transmission and give you a complete diagnosis free of charge and obligation. There is no other shop that will do that. Here's what they'll do. They will open it up, look at it, detail each part, and give you a complete list of what they need to do and how much it'll cost. If you decide to have it done, you're still not charged for the teardown and the diagnosis. If you decide to take it somewhere else, they'll put all that stuff together and you can tow it somewhere to get it fixed, still no charge. If you decide to junk the car, on second thought, you're not going to get it done. There is no charge. You can't beat it. And if you already have a diagnosis and an estimate, Budget will beat it by 10% or $250, whichever is more, whichever saves you more money. 303-781-9858. Just remember, Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. 781-9858. I just don't know how they do it. Anyway, so welcome to the show. Let's go to the phones now. Now, I want to tell Dee that we did pull a background on your husband. And Mark, do you want to go through it very quickly? I don't want to bring Dee back up. I don't want to embarrass her. We're not trying to. But listen, she says her husband's facing 4 felonies. One of them is definitely out. The other one they're disputing because they want to sentence him on habitual, which would give him a life sentence. So, Mark, by the way, is that a life sentence not eligible for parole? When you do that 3 strikes and you're out, or are you eligible? You are eligible for parole. So, Mark, what are some of these charges?
Kidnapping.
How many? Kidnapping.
Oh, well,
strangulation.
Strangulation, sex offenses.
Intent to kill during a robbery.
I wonder what happened. It was on 9/16 of 17.
That was
wonder
one.
What happened, honestly. No, they're all, it all went down pretty much on that date. Okay. All the recent ones.
All the recent ones. And
I wonder what he did. I mean, there's kidnapping, there's sex, there's intent to kill, there's all kinds of stuff.
This was from one event, you mean?
It looks like it was all from one event.
Aren't there like 30 charges from that one event?
Yeah, but some of them have been dropped.
Okay.
And modified.
And the reason they do that is because when you get someone there's no reason to prosecute 30. I mean, in fact, often they only need 1 or 2 and then they accomplish it. But you're wondering what that event was.
Yeah, it looks like by putting this together.
September 16th of 2017.
He stole a car because that's one of the first things on there.
Yeah.
And then it looks like all hell went loose. It looks like he kidnapped 2 people. It looks like maybe he sexually assaulted 2 people.
I think I found the news story. Hang on.
Okay.
Strangled 2 people.
All right. We're going to go to other calls. But, Dee, you know, Joe Lazzara, honest to goodness, Joe Lazzara will take a second look at your case, and he'll do that for those listening to the Troubleshooter Show, or if you need advice, he will give advice, and he'll at least talk to you. Consultations are free, 303-429-6200. Suzanne, did you send that news story?
Yes, I sure did.
Okay, so again, they're trying to fight it so he doesn't get life sentence, and you know, who knows? Let me know when you get that. When I get, Mark, we didn't get that yet. I want to talk to Julie. Julie, this Arctic track, I take it it's a snowmobile.
Hi, Tom. It's an Arctic cat.
Oh, a cat. I'm sorry. Okay,
That's
so
all right.
this is like a vehicle on these tracks, right? That look.
It's an off-road vehicle.
Yeah.
It has wheels.
Oh, it has wheels. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Tell me about the problem.
Okay, bought it in 2017, brand new. It has 547 miles only on it when it broke down.
I mean, who makes it?
Arctic Cat, the company Arctic Cat.
Okay, so tell me about it.
And it was brand new, $20,000 machine.
God, oh wow,
and,
20 grand.
Yep. So it broke. We took it in. The engine was ruined.
Are they saying it was abuse? Are they denying it?
Nope, they say it's their fault. They have a faulty intake air box.
Okay.
They need to manufacture a new one.
Okay.
And that's still in prototype. So they put a new engine in and told us to put the old part that ruins the first engine back on.
These are cool. And some of them do have actual tracks on them, but some of them have wheels. It depends. And some have skids on the front and tracks on the back, and or you can get all track. They look pretty awesome. What did you guys buy it for?
We bought it to use up at our cabin.
Okay, so bottom line, they acknowledge there's a problem. It's under warranty. So what's the problem?
Well, they put the new engine in, but they want to put the old intake box on, which caused the engine to go
That's
bad.
pretty stupid. They acknowledge they have a defective air intake, and they're putting the defective air intake on the new engine.
Right.
Well, what reasoning is that?
They said that's what they're going to do, and they don't care if I'm going to call you or call a lawyer.
But what did the manufacturer tell you this? The warranty people?
Yes.
Okay.
They did.
What is their logic that if the air intake caused the problem, what is their logic to putting it back on?
They said we could check it more often and make it fit tighter if we wanted to pay somebody to work on it to fit tighter, but their prototype of the new one isn't available yet.
Okay. So they acknowledge it's a problem. And this is exactly what they said. They said it's defective. We're working on a new one, but until we do, you can make this one work.
And we'll give you 6 months extra warranty.
Okay. Well, what's the alternative to that? Because it sounds to me like there is no alternative. What do you expect?
I asked for one of two things. Just give us our money back and call it good. If you are confident that this is a good machine, you could resell it, do whatever you want.
Right.
Just a side note, Arctic Cat was bought out by Textron.
Okay.
So they are no longer manufacturing off-road vehicles. They will only do snowmobiles.
Okay, so when that was your one, just give us a refund, and that would be the dealer, not Arctic Track, but they would have to do it, not the dealer. It's not the dealer's fault, but who is the dealer?
No, the whole manufacturing company was bought out by a second
No,
company.
I'm asking you, who was the dealer that sold you the
They were Front Range Power Sports in Fort Collins, and they've been wonderful.
Okay. All right.
It's not a dealer problem. It's a manufacturing
I understand
problem.
that.
Yeah.
So, but why not wait? Did they say when the new airbox is ready, you can have it?
They don't know when it's going to be ready, see, because they quit manufacturing off-road vehicles.
Well, are they even bothering to continue? Are they going to make it or not? Are they going to?
I suspect no.
Okay. Can something be fashioned to fix this defect? That's
what they told her, I thought.
No, but they're not. If they were bought out and they stopped manufacturing these, why would they bother manufacturing this if it wasn't? It's not like the NTSB is going to order it. So, Julie, what I want to know is, can this be modified somehow to make it? What is the defect? Quickly, what is it?
The air intake box allows dirt in the engine, which ruins the engine.
Okay.
So that's what happened the first time.
Is it because of a loose where they connect?
They just said it doesn't have a tight enough fit.
There must be. I was going to say there must be a way to alter that one.
Julie, I think, by the way, that you're not unreasonable asking for a refund. You spent 20 grand on a brand new vehicle that's defective and they can't fix it. I would do the same thing. However, there are things that can be modified. This is not an impossible problem. I mean, and it's not even going to cost that much. If truly all it needs is a tighter fit, I mean, there are plenty.
Why can't that service department at this wonderful dealer she likes not do something?
They can. It's just that it's our expense, and so we.
Well, hold on though. How much would that be?
I have no idea, to be honest.
That's where I think it's wrong. I think they should pay to have the modification done. But I would go ahead and have the modification done, and I would literally sue that company, the manufacturer, in small claims court for the cost, and bring them to Colorado because they'd have to do it.
Or sue the dealer.
Or yeah, the dealer. But you like the dealer. Where's the guy that had a suggestion? He hung up, Suzanne?
Yeah, he said she should just put in an aftermarket.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There has to be something available, and rather than
we've tried on eBay. They've tried on every aftermarket. It's a manufacturing flaw. That
Julie,
we've tried.
We're not denying that there's a flaw. I know a little bit about air boxes because of aircraft, and there have been recalls and what's called ADs because of it. But I will tell you that there are modifications, and I know there is no such thing as something that can't be fixed like that. It's at your expense, but it's not going to be as expensive as you think. How big is the air box on this? I mean, as far as the engine, does it make up?
It's a large engine. It's a 6-seater.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
It's a 6-seater. It's been in the shop since July, and they can't find the part. The dealership.
I'm not talking about finding a part. Okay. We're not going to get anywhere with this discussion. If it's on there and it fits, it simply has to be sealed in a different fashion. I mean, it's not magic. I mean, this can be done. I know I would be pissed off just like you. I mean, you have a $20,000 machine that these a-holes are saying, sorry, but that's the way it is.
I'd be more inclined to be upset with that dealer, too. I don't know why she's giving them a pass. They sold her something.
You really shouldn't give them a pass because they did sell this to you. Now, it's not their fault directly. It isn't. But they did sell it to you. And they should be willing, in a perfect world, I would want this dealer to give you a refund on another vehicle and then a trade, and then they should take that and modify it or modify it for you. I'd like to talk to a service department. We've exhausted what Julie can tell us, really. We have. So, Julie, here's the point. I think you have a great case to get your money back if you took it to court. I really do. I think you have a great case. I would tend to want to sue them. But if it can be modified for under $7,500, I think I would do that and take them to small claims court. But, Julie, give us the name of your dealer. Suzanne, I'd like to call their service department and talk to a technician because I can't believe that sealing can be that much of a problem. There's something that I don't understand. What is it that can't be sealed? We'll find out. 303-713-TALK. The Hormone Bros are here. HormoneBros.com, BioT, and more. But we talked about a thread lift. What the hell is it? And some of it is temporary on purpose. But why would you get a thread lift? And exactly what does a thread lift do? If you ever wanted to know, stay tuned, and we'll tell you, okay? Coming right up.
And I've got the info what that guy did that night.
Okay.
Crazy night.
All right, we'll find out about that. Speaking of health and the Hormone Bros, Centeno Schultz does living stem cell therapy. One of the few clinics that do true living stem cell therapy. Do not accept those who do umbilical cord or any kind of amniotic fluid shipped into a clinic. Under current law, you cannot have living stem cells in those conditions. They do not last. They do not live. You are given dead fluid. You're getting ripped off, period. So if you have paid right now, you may want to call and get on a list because we're considering a class action suit. We're considering major legal action against these fake and phony chiropractic offices and other clinics claiming to have real stem cells. Now, isn't that terrible? I spent all that time talking about the bad guys when I should really just say, for living stem cell therapy, Centeno Schultz, the first ones in the country to do it. 303-963-9201. AvoidSurgeryToday.com.
This report is sponsored by
Okay, I have another spot in 45 seconds, guys. Okay. We do a little more in the beginning here. Okay.
There's a high wind advisory on Hamden or Highway 285 heading into the mountain. Up north, an accident on 38th Avenue just west of I-25. Otherwise, I-25 is a good ride north or south until you get down to through Castle Rock. There's some construction on
It was sold, this Textron, back in 2017. So
They have an S&B air particle. Yeah, I know, so that's what I'm saying. They sold her something knowing that there was an issue. I don't know why she loves this deal.
S&B air particle separator for $400 for the wild market cat one.
Clear your way this winter with Flash de-icer windshield washer fluid. It melts frost and ice like that.
Yeah, they got that market fixed.
That's right.
All right.
Find Flash.
Let's talk about solar. GoCamSolar.com. This is a company run by a bunch of eggheads. They're engineers. So they got the personality of gnats, but man, do they know how to put together a system. I'm just kidding about their personalities, more like fleas. No, I'm just kidding. These guys are smart, but they're engineers. You will love their approach. They're not trying to fast sell you anything. GoCamSolar.com. Go to that website, GoCamSolar.com. Put a slash and Troubleshooter in it, and you'll get one of these nerds to get back to you with a complete history, or projection of what your lot and roof line will do over a 20-year period. You can freeze your electric bills and start saving from day one because you buy the system. And as soon as it's paid off, you will never have a monthly energy bill. 720-449-2935. But they'd rather you just go to this website, GoCamSolar.com/troubleshooter.
It's the new Capless and Kiefer Show. Afternoons 4 to 7.
This is Dave Capless. We all know gratitude is the root of happiness. We are profoundly grateful and happy that you have made us a part of your day.
I think there's so much to be grateful for. Thank you for being a part of our day.
So you were taking the lisinopril? Yeah. Instead of...
All right.
Instead of OxyContin.
While we're on the subject of health with the HormoneBros.com, they do buy a few more. I want to tell you about Bright Light Chiropractic. This is a guy that does true chiropractic. He doesn't get into all the fake stuff. You will love this chiropractor. BrightenYourFamily.com. BrightenYourFamily.com. It's that simple. Bright Light Chiropractic, University and County Line, 720-583-4506. A complete workup with digital x-rays and thermal scans, just $50. Really. And then adjustments as low as $30. That's BrightenYourFamily.com. And speaking of health, we have the Hormone Bros here, and they are out west too, but you know, you don't go to them that often. So to me, it doesn't really matter where they're located. They're at 470 and Ken Carroll. I want to ask about a thread lift. Now, they do BioT, okay? That's really a great treatment with testosterone, and they do estrogen and thyroid. They can also do other cosmetic procedures, and they do Juvederm and other fillers. But the thread lift has been kind of taking off in the media. But I think people have a lot of misunderstandings. When I hear about a thread lift, I think about a piece of thread being woven through your face, and then they pull it all up and tie a knot in it, and it holds your face up. No, honest to God, that's what I think about. So let's talk about what really a thread lift is. Which one, John or James?
I can go. Yeah, so
introduce yourself, John or James.
I'm James.
Like people wouldn't care; they wouldn't know. But I'm going to say, okay, James. No, Jim. Tell me, do you mind Jim, by the way, or you go by James?
I go by James.
Okay, James. What is a thread lift? What is it?
So a thread lift is a dissolvable thread that gets inserted into your face in any desired
Now, how
spot.
many pieces of thread for a lift?
So it's going to be one thread per. I mean, it depends on your level of,
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you have
results.
some sagging
Right.
cheeks and some little bags under the eyes you want to pull up. Would you have one thread for each side?
Correct. Yes. You always want to be symmetrical on
Right.
both sides.
So you could have 2 threads per side, or 3 or 4. So it's 1 thread per area.
Or as much as you desire. I mean, depending on
Do you
your
see
need.
instantly what the thread does?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So you take the thread, and when you pull that thread up, it's barbed into the tissue?
Yeah, so we insert the thread into that area from an area up here.
Yes.
And you would insert it down in the direction you would want to pull
Now,
up.
when you pull it up, what do you attach it to?
So there's little barbs on that thread that you push onto the skin tissue.
Right, and that pulls it, but the other end, what holds it?
So you pull the thread after it's inserted into the face, and you pull that up into the lift, obviously, and then you snip that off and pull.
There's like little
tissue
jagged
over.
things on the
So
string.
it's barbed on both ends where it stays in place?
Mainly just the bottom part where you're lifting.
Okay, but when you lift it, what I'm trying to get at, you're pulling it up. The other end, if you let go, why doesn't it just droop? What is holding the other end?
Barbs.
The barbs. Yeah. The whole thread
thing
is barbed.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Now I understand. So the whole thing is like a one-way barb. You pull it up and it stays there.
Correct. Yes. Okay. So when you're pulling it up, it stays there, and that's so the whole idea is to build collagen around that.
Then it gradually dissolves this thread.
The thread does, yes.
Then what makes this a semi-permanent procedure if the thread is dissolving?
Because now the whole process, you're inducing this collagen growth. And
because collagen heals?
Collagen is, you're creating the collagen when you're doing this procedure, and now it is going to grow around the barb, and now that's what keeps the skin in that place.
So you're going to grow your own collagen.
Sure.
And that keeps the thread in place.
After the thread
when the thread dissolves, the skin, the tissue stays in place.
Yes, yes.
So you're temporarily pulling it up until collagen takes over.
Correct.
Okay. What I need to know about this, though, why is collagen stimulated by by pulling up skin? Why? Does injury automatically induce collagen?
Absolutely, the trauma, the process.
So if you cut your face, would collagen surround the area?
Yes, the collagen, the growth factors, it's the whole process of your body trying to repair that skin tissue.
Right.
And now you're doing this
but it's
on
doing
purpose.
It inside.
Inside, and
so
you can't
no
see
scarring.
it. There's
so
no,
inside, collagen is filling in that area to heal it.
Correct.
How long does that collagen stay there?
It depends on everybody, but you can, a year, 18 months, some up to 2 years. It all depends on how well you take care of your face. If you're in the sun, you use sunblock.
What would make the collagen more permanent? I would think that if it's your own collagen, why doesn't it just continually restore itself?
Well, because like with hormones, over the age of 30, our collagen production decreases naturally with age, and so that's what it's called collagen induction therapy. You're trying to stimulate your own collagen again. And
can you stimulate your own collagen without thread?
Sure. There's other ways. There's red light therapy, there's lasers, there's other ways of doing it, but
what is microneedling?
It's another collagen induction therapy as well.
So you put needles into the face to purposely on the inside cause micro trauma, which would then fill with collagen.
It's just creating that collagen growth process. And
to me, that would be, I don't know, if I had to pick between a thread and the microneedling. The microneedling does the same thing, except it doesn't lift it.
Yeah, you're not going to get that lift. You'll get some toning and tightening of the skin, and then plus the microneedling, the growth of new blood vessels, and you just get a healthier glow, of your skin.
With the
microneedling, PRP and all these things, but you're not going to get that lift.
What's the most permanent thing you do for the face? What would be the most permanent thing?
The most permanent thing would probably be the threads that we do. Yeah.
So in a perfect world, if you take care of yourself, how long will the effects of a thread lift last?
Ideal world, up to 2 years.
Okay.
A year and a half to 2 years.
When someone talks about an actual facelift like Joan Rivers would get all the time, what's the difference? What is that?
They surgically pull the skin and stitch it.
But with what?
They're literally just pulling it back. They'll make an incision, and they are pulling back and trimming off excess
and they take the extra skin, and then they put stitches behind your ear or under your hairline. Yeah, they literally pull your face back. They do.
This is just a slower process to firm and tighten and give it a slight lift. It's not a facelift by any means.
Can I see before and afters?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, do people get that pulled look? Because I can tell whenever somebody had a facelift. It's disgusting most of the time. I mean, there are some really good facelifts.
Yeah, it doesn't pull enough to where you're going to get that. I mean, it's a slight difference.
Okay.
But the results happen over time.
So for something that you'd have to do every 2 years, is it how long? Is it a minor procedure or is it pretty major? Do you go under general anesthesia or what? Guys?
No, it's all with topical and local.
Oh, it is. How long does it take?
I'd say depending on how many threads you're doing.
Let's say you have I could see maybe 2 or 3 per side, so 3 threads per side. So
half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes tops.
So this is a semi-permanent thing. What would be the next permanent filler? The next most permanent that would last a while.
Filler for filler, you'd have the Juvederms.
Because isn't collagen a filler?
I mean, it's going to, yes. Yeah. There's also different threads, not the barred, but there's smooth threads that you could put in that are more to build a volume, basically.
So if you're sinking in,
yeah, you would just put maybe 5 to 10 per area, little threads.
And what's the healing time?
The healing time is, I mean, you may have a few days. With the barbs, you may be swollen for a couple days. Very little, if any, bruising. So very little social downtime.
So the whole thing with a face is volume. Because we lose volume in our face.
Gravity, and we lose volume, and
it goes to our ass.
Yeah. So you're basically trying to fight that, rebuild the collagen, and pull back up.
Now there were guys at one time that would take fat cells and re-inject fat cells into women's hands or areas where they wanted to plump up, areas where their hands get bony and thin. I mean, do you guys do any kind of transfer of fat cells? Do you?
No.
I don't even know if that's around anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is either, and we don't do that. It's more just about the collagen, your body's own
minimally
process.
Invasive.
Minimally invasive. Yep. Your body rebuilding its own, stimulating the collagen growth.
But microneedling seems to be very, very effective. You go to the area, and you simply fill it in.
Yeah, you're just causing puncturing tons and tons of holes
underneath.
Yeah, throughout these micro holes, and you're either putting like a hyaluronic acid or a PRP over top, and which is getting into the holes, and it just increases that growth factors.
So as it heals, it plumps up.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting that the skin's tightening. It's wonderful.
How long does microneedling last? Again, a year and a half.
Microneedling, yes, it can. I mean, with the microneedling, you're going to need at least. It depends on what you're trying to treat, but I mean, anywhere from 3 to 6 initial treatments, about 4 weeks apart, 4 to 6 weeks apart.
But then how long does that last?
And then you could, we recommend at least every 6 months, redoing it every 6 months to a year, and just to keep up with it.
But when you redo it, do you have to do those several treatments?
No.
Okay. So once you do the intensive treatment, then you just go back for periodic
maintenance.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so about every 6 months to a year, if you do maintenance, your face will remain plump.
Yeah, I mean, and you're going to have better results if you continuously do it all the time. But I mean, finances are an issue.
When you say continue, what would be the optimum maintenance?
Oh, I mean,
every 3 months?
Yeah, sure.
But how long? Not the intense, but for the for the maintenance sessions, how long does it take?
Like when you're there?
Yeah.
It takes, when they come in, it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to numb up, like the topical
anesthetic. And then how long for the procedure?
15,
and then,
20 minutes.
So they're less than an hour, And then how long to heal? When they walk out, do they look a little...
Yes. Look, some people have like a mild sunburn. Your face is reddened, and that could last up to 48 hours.
All right.
Yeah.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255, thehormonebros.com, or just hormonebros.com. We can talk more. If you have any questions, though, I've always wondered about this stuff, and I figured, what the hell? I'm going to ask them straight up, what are these thread lifts? And there are some other procedures. I hear so much about Juvederm. That's just a filler, right? Basically, you inject it in the face.
Correct.
To plump up where they need.
Like Botox, right?
No, Botox simply gets rid of wrinkles by relaxing it.
So what does Juvederm do?
Juvederm fills. It's a filler.
Yeah, it's a product. It's a filler.
With Botox, you don't add anything to the face.
You're just paralyzing muscles.
Yeah, you're literally paralyzing muscles so you don't get frown lines and
temporarily.
stuff. Yeah. One sec, Kevin. This form that you sent to us, we're going to warn businesses about. What did you think it was? This periodic report.
Tom, I'm a small business owner,
yeah.
And every year we get notice from the state of Colorado to pay our registration fee.
It's a $5 fee, isn't it? And you redo your corporate information?
Yeah.
Or 10 or something?
But usually shortly after we pay that, we'll get this notice in the mail, and I don't have it in front of me, Tom.
I do, and I'm going to go over it, Kevin, so hold on, all right? I do want to go over it. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. He's going to bring up a good point. Hey, Rocky's Autos, they're here, and they're at 63rd and Federal, saving people lots of money. Listen, Rocky's Autos is for everyone. They have cars in the $5,000 and $6,000 range, all the way up to 30 and 40. Whatever it is, though, it's thousands less than other places. Check them out. 63rd and Federal, Monday through Friday, 9 to 7. And then Saturdays, 9 to 6. That's 303-426-4646. That's Rocky'sAutos.com. 40 lenders to choose from, and a large selection of used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
No, this dude, he was found guilty of 10 felony counts. Kidnapping, aggravated robbery, second-degree assault, aggravated motor vehicle theft. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that.
Stores over the Thanksgiving weekend, keeping
he's getting sentenced on the 6th.
To be one of the strongest holiday seasons in years. And Campbell Soup
you guys do pretty much everything that a dermatologist, you don't go like
you mean cosmetic. Dermatologists don't work.
Oh, they don't do that?
Dermatologists, cancer stuff, man. Normally dermatologists.
Normally they don't.
Truly, no. Regular doctors do it. And specifically, most of the cosmetic surgeons have a background as an ENT.
Dave Stevenson as Chief Financial Officer ahead of
ENT. Ear, nose, and throat.
Right across from
will join the company in early January.
It's amazing. But you know what, though? There have been dermatologists getting into fillers. Not thread lips and shit, because technically they're against that stuff.
Real?
Yes, a lot of them are. What are they charging you for each one?
It starts with building Capital One warm, inviting that feel like
it seems like a lot of shit. What are they charging now?
Everybody's going to ask. You're going to get right to all the questions. How much this is?
Are they like for the bread?
It'll be all on 6. It'll be 6 implants. One piece thing, top and bottom.
No, you're exactly right.
15 grand. What do you need? 65 here. Have they done any of them yet?
No, what I have now is actually really quick. A couple implants.
So they do it all in one trip?
Yeah. Well,
No. But I mean, it's not like it's not permanent. Just as you age, you're always fighting against gravity, against loss. So I don't want to say that it's not permanent, but when you say that, just because your face is always changing.
That collagen that you can put in there,
I go back at 9.
No.
Yes.
I mean, but I mean, like a cat. You're going to move all the way.
Just like
comes open. These things
the normal process of aging continues.
Yes. We're not stopping that. We're slowing it down.
6 torques.
What you do is permanent, but the normal process.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
But we're getting there, and you built that collagen based on permanence, but the normal aging process is still there.
So would having BioHeat in conjunction with this help extend it?
100%. Having optimal testosterone levels helps improve skin.
Well, that's another, yeah.
No,
everything in general health is better.
Yes, for sure.
It's the pellet. I could not
let's
get
pellet
that
you on
thing. Can't get the hot tub for 3 years.
Oh, you can do it on air, just your ass.
Now that you have a hot tub, you'll understand.
Just keep your one cheek out.
He bought an inflatable hot tub.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
$200.
Yeah.
You know, I
I
gotta
can put it in my
everyone that I know that did those, when we did the stories on them, they loved it.
They loved them. They loved them, Jerry. They loved them.
What they loved about it is they pop the thing, drain it, and put it away when they didn't want it. They could put it up. Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Plumbline Services for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Free second opinions, remember that. So if you're told you need a panel change, or you need a water heater, or you need a furnace, and you have a written quote, you know, you may think, well, all they want is to shut up my business, so what's wrong with that? The only way they're going to get a shot is to do it cheaper. So if they can, they're forced, not that they wouldn't be anyway, but they're forced to be straight and say, look, we can't beat it. You can't help but get a better deal or confirmation that you have a good deal. It's a great thing, and that is free second opinions on all major repairs. 303-586-1086. 303-586-1086, plumlineservices.com. You can't go wrong with that. In fact, every commercial I do on this show has to do with protecting and helping consumers. This letter that Kevin got, it pisses me off because I see these a lot. It says periodic report instruction form, Colorado LLCs. And then it goes on to say what to do. It has all your information pre-filled out with a total of $85. And it says state fee $10, processing fee $75. Now, technically, they're simply doing your yearly reporting for you, and you're paying $75 to have it done. So what pisses you off about it, Kevin, is probably what pisses me off. It looks damn official.
Yeah, you think you're getting an official form from the state of Colorado, and you know, lend credence to their information there. They've done research and even put down our company attorney's name.
Right down to important, follow instructions exactly when completing this form. Please print. And it says, please make your check payable too. But there has to be some small print somewhere that says this is not required. But I don't see any. Where is it?
Well, you're seeing everything that we got in the mail outside of the envelope that it came in. But, you know, maybe if you talk to them, they could, you know, articulate that they're doing honest work. But
yeah, it even says, hold on, it quotes, Colorado law requires you to do this. And they quote the statutes. Nowhere do I see small print. Wait, let's see, what? No, here's the only part. There's only one sentence buried. It says, if the business entity is still in use, workplace compliance services, comma, a private entity, comma, will assist for a fee in filing your periodic form.
That's tricky, Tom.
It's very tricky. I mean, it's really...
Well, and you know, if they were straightforward and said, hey, we're a third-party company...
It's like those poster deals they send out, too.
Yeah.
It'd be a little bit more, you know, able to swallow it if they just came forward and said that this is what they do on behalf of business.
I bet you the envelope looked, Dan, I bet you the envelope said something, too, right? That would look important.
It just had there where you send the bill. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you think you're getting it from the state of Colorado.
Exactly,
but,
exactly.
But I think when you look and you see that, one, where you're sending the payment to is a suite somewhere in Greenwood Village.
No, I understand. And it basically, a lot of these statements come right up and they say, the state requires you to report this yearly, and then they cite the law, and you say, well, I better get it done. You know, what a pain in the ass that is if you think about it. Every single entity in Colorado pays $10 to be... What is it for? What really is it for? Every year we do it. You know, we're still incorporated.
Well,
we
to find out
taxes.
where their registered agent is, mostly.
Tom, look at the second page on step 4. It says there that we understand that Workplace Compliance Services is not a government agency.
Okay, yeah. But it's so...
The other big one like that is EIN numbers. If you start a new business, you got to get an EIN, and a bunch of them on the website... You know, they'll say, oh, we'll get it for you for $100. Well, they're free.
But, you know, if you look into all the places that government has their hands in your pockets, it's astounding to me. Do you know the one that really pisses me off? If you have so much as
a mailing address or you're just setting up an office somewhere, they want to know all your inventory, your desks, your computers. It's cumbersome. I'm telling you. It discourages business. They want you to pay a tax on everything that you buy. Everything. We're not talking sales tax. We're talking about tax just because you have computers. If you bought a bunch of new computers and a phone system, you have to pay tax on it, right?
Yeah, of course.
And you have to keep an inventory. And they want, how many small businesses really do this?
Well, Denver, they'll be on top of you if you don't.
What about home business? They require you to do it for a home business, too.
Of course.
So you think, well, I'm going to get some deductions. I'm going to claim this as a business. Well, guess what? They're going to be all over you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And it doesn't matter that you're paying taxes anyway. It's an extra tax. And these are taxes they're not voted on. They just implement these fees because they don't call them taxes.
It drives me crazy. If you sell something you already paid tax on, like a bicycle, you're supposed to collect sales tax, even at a garage sale. Now, granted, no one does it. You want to hear about these hooligans?
Okay, now, this woman called, and she said, I want to help my husband because he's being sentenced as a habitual offender, and he's facing a third felony. Well, actually, he was facing 2 additional felonies, but one, she said, they weren't worried about because it's a slam dunk. He's going to beat it. But then the other one, she said, was trumped up. But we looked at his background, and total there's about 40 or 50 charges, and a lot of them stem, not all of them, but about 30 of them stem from one day.
Well, he was found guilty, his last name's Hackbarth, of 10 felony counts from the day we were talking about. Him and a buddy are drinking.
Wait.
10.
Why hasn't he been habitual till now then?
I don't know if they were all the class 1, 2, or 3 or whatever qualifies for 3 strikes.
So he was literally convicted of 10 felonies.
Yeah, and he's getting sentenced on the 6th of December, so coming right up. He's sitting in a sports bar in Lakewood or Littleton, somewhere down there on Wadsworth.
According to this report, or was it already proven in court?
Well, he was found guilty of 10 counts.
Okay, so according to the court records, he was sitting in a bar.
He's sitting in a sports bar, him and a buddy. They make friends with a couple that walked in. They convince him to give him a ride somewhere. They hop in the back seat, the 2 guys, so the couple's in front of them. One of them pulls a knife on the driver and says, drive. The other one's trying to choke the woman out. She gets so afraid for her life, she jumps out of the car at 50 miles per hour.
Leaving her husband there?
Leaving her husband, her boyfriend, I assume, in the vehicle. And eventually they kick him out of the car, and then they take off. Cops pick him up a couple hours later. It was like drunken.
Oh, but okay. So
female was injured but survived.
10 felonies.
Yeah, including...
He was convicted.
Yeah, convicted, including kidnapping, aggravated robbery, second-degree assault, aggravated motor vehicle theft, and I assume more. So.
Oh, man.
Guess what he's got?
What?
A neck tattoo.
I had to tell Mark that.
Why do you say that? It's your contention.
Because it always
nothing good comes out of it.
One of the funniest things I ever remember was a guy telling us, it's the 2nd time in a month I've been ripped off with a guy with a neck tattoo.
And he was convinced it was the neck tattoo that should have been the telltale sign. Right? I mean, he really was. So listen, Frank Duran, the real estate man, he's number 1. He's the best. If you're selling, you list it with him, you sit back and watch the magic. Let him do the negotiating. By the way, he won't list it for as much as you think you should. And that's where other guys might get the listing, and then guess what? It ends up sitting on the market. You come down in price, and then it gets cooties, I call it. It gets a stigma. What Frank does is he lists it for less than you might think he should. He gets multiple offers, and the price goes up. Then, through negotiation, you end up getting more than that other guy said you could get. More. You get more than he wanted to list it for because he didn't get any action. Frank knows how to get the action, whether you're buying or selling. That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Lunchtime traffic.
So two people just said on Facebook, they're just asking ballpark what microneedling.
How long does this break cost? Can I do something in between?
Micro with PRP is $350.
I'm going to do something.
You should come. You should just come out and ask them. We're getting a lot of people going. How much is this and that? You can't be afraid of it.
On a console.
$350 sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds cheap. That sounds very
With
long?
PRP.
Yeah.
With PRP.
20 seconds, I have another one. Really cool.
Weather today in Denver.
So yeah, it's always going to depend on the individual's needs.
Yeah, but you would.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but there's people out there right now thinking 5,000.
So
Yeah,
no.
And we'll say, but
Closes while holiday deals continue to get 40% off appliance special values and make holiday deals something to
Just say start.
Start.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Our typical, trees start around.
See store for details, U.S. only.
One Clear Choice Garage Doors will give you great service at great prices. All you have to do is call. If you need a free inspection, a Martino inspection, and tune-up and adjustment, you call them. Now, of course, if they find any problems, they'll present you with a diagnosis of your doors, and they're honest, ethical, and they are professional. They know what they're doing. One Clear Choice Doors.com, 303-565-6409. You have a broken spring, you need urgent service, 303-565-6409. Or you may want a whole new garage door. One Clear Choice Doors.com.
Rates are going up. How do you protect your home if...
I started watching that prison one, man. It is good.
Which one is that, Mark?
Prison Break?
No, it's the one where the female guard, it's a true story. She helps these two break out. Her husband actually works there. She's screwing both of them. Oh, it's true.
Is it
It's
a documentary
crazy.
or is it a
It's
drama?
an 8-part only miniseries. Just started on Showtime.
But is it a docudrama or is it a documentary, like real people?
No, docudrama.
Okay, so
It's
they're
good.
actors.
It's well written.
Right.
Oh, and you'll recognize them too. Woo, boy, they hit her with the ugly stick, that actress. She is the ugly one, man.
What's it called, Mark?
I gotta look it up. Ben Stiller's the director too.
With home values going up, now is the time to become mortgage safe.
It is good. Now they're only releasing 3 at a time though.
Operated broker since
You can't binge the whole thing for whatever.
Who was the actress that played Monster? God, she scored.
Yes.
Release there.
No, not Monster.
Monster?
It was Holly Berry.
Escaped Animal.
That was Monster.
Wait. Oh, maybe there's two different. Did she say there's one called Monster and then one called
Monster?
Oh,
it's like a drug.
Okay.
Charisse Theron
yeah.
and they made her look ugly.
Yeah, that's it.
Hi, Tom Martino here, WakeandWake.com. This is the bankruptcy firm, Mike and Gigi, and they can stop a foreclosure dead in its tracks with a Chapter 13, 303-410-1720. I hope you never need them. So let's talk to Roger. Roger, what's going on with you, Roger?
Well, yeah, I've been having trouble with my mail carrier.
Why? What kind of problem?
The problem that we're having, it's been over a year. The mail carrier, my wife orders packages from online, and he's delivering the packages to other places. I live in Lakewood, and we try to get hold of the postmaster.
This is a bad time of year for this to be happening. So let me just sum this up. Is it that simple? He simply sends packages to the wrong address?
Yes, he does. And they said.
Do you get wrong packages? Do you get packages that are not yours?
I get mail that's not mine.
What about packages?
No packages.
Okay, are all of your packages diverted or just some of them?
Some of them.
Okay, what percentage of the time is this guy wrong? Either sending you stuff or not getting stuff?
Out of 100%, you're talking?
Yeah, like what percent?
I'd say about almost half the time.
Are you kidding me? So what do they do with it? What are they saying about it?
Well, we try to contact the postmaster. We tried contacting his boss, and they said that the only thing they could do about it is talk to him. And this has been going on for a year now, and he's been delivering our packages. We've lost over almost $250 worth of money that we've bought packages from online.
But wait a minute. What do you mean you lost money? How do you lose money?
Because we order things, and they get sent to someone else's house, and they keep them.
Yeah, but hold on. Don't the people give you a refund?
No.
Oh, come on.
Some places will give us a refund, Not all of them.
Why don't you use UPS or another delivery service?
Because we only order from one place.
So they only will use the U.S. Post Office? I've never heard of a place not using other delivery.
Yeah, that's just what my wife orders them through.
I'm asking, where do you order from?
We order from LA Express.
And I know LA Express uses multiple carriers, so who else?
Yes. I don't know. My wife's the one that does the ordering.
Roger, I mean, I'm not saying this is a solution and the post office should get it right, but why not just use another delivery service? What is the reason why bother if you know half of the time they're going to get it wrong?
And that's why me and my wife have stopped ordering from anybody, because we not only just do my packages get miscarried, our letters get miscarried.
What letters? You actually write letters?
Bills. Actually, our bills.
Oh, your bills.
Yeah, my utility bills, our phone bills. People from other places in our neighborhood actually have to bring our mail back to us and say
this is ridiculous.
Yep. And
is there? Hold on. Do you have a number of homeowners in that neighborhood that will complain?
I do. My next-door neighbor, actually. I don't have her number on hand, but I do have. It's my wife's next-door neighbor. It's our friend. She gets miscarried. She gets other people's mail.
So when you complain, what do they say?
They say that the only thing that they could do about it is talk to the carrier. And then when they talk to the carrier, sometimes we don't get our mail till sometimes 10 o'clock at night, which is that it shouldn't be happening. They said that the latest they could deliver is 8 o'clock at night. Sometimes we get
hold
it at
on.
10 o'clock.
This is I've never heard of it. What area of town are you in?
I'm in Lakewood, Colorado, Jefferson County. 80215 is my area code.
80215.
Yes. And
is that yours? Do you ever have mistakes, Clint?
Do I what?
No, Clint is in the same zip
code.
No,
I never. One of the things we did though, because the mail, if it's a large thing, they can't leave it in the mailbox. They won't bring it to a porch like UPS. We have a huge mailbox. That really helped.
Yeah, but this guy can't even get the stuff, let alone. I mean, I don't know what to do other than, do we have a contact at PIO?
I think so.
Hold on. All we can do is we can contact him, but I need to know there were multiple complaints, Roger. If you can get together, because here's what the post office does. They're famous for doing this. Be specific. They'll say what day, what package. I mean, they do that because they know people are not specific, so they get around it. And this way they can say, well, how can I look into it? I mean, they don't want to hear this guy sucks. They want to hear on this date, this happened. Did you ever keep a log?
Yeah, my wife does, actually.
Okay,
when she gets the packages, they have a tracking number.
I would like to see the log, and if you can email that. Suzanne, tell them where to get us that information. Also, any neighbors that are having a problem we'd like to hear from. Did you ever talk to the mechanic for the snowmobile? Did we ever talk to that?
I have an update on that, Tom.
Yes,
they
Suzanne.
are closed on Monday, so I'm lining up a follow-up tomorrow.
All right, we want to talk to the mechanic because this air intake box apparently is defective from the factory. They replaced her engine due to debris getting into the engine. But with the Arctic Cat, they put the old air box on it. And according to her, Bree, no, not Bree. It was not Bree. It was
Julie.
Julie. According to Julie, they told her, this is all we have, tough. Put on the, just get it sealed better. Or, do something aftermarket. So, she spent 20 grand on this. And now this company, Arctic Track, doesn't even make them anymore. So she's pissed, and I don't blame her. But we want to know from a mechanic, can this be modified? I mean, if you have a brand new vehicle, you're not going to get a refund.
But she said it could. She said it would just have to be at her expense, is what she said.
And it voids warranties if you do aftermarket
now, wait
stuff.
A minute.
It voids that. Well, she said they will fix it, but then it voids her warranty.
But hold on. But she's getting an extra 6 months of warranty. So why not just keep the old airbox on, and then right before warranty is up, get it inspected to see if there's any damage, and then have it converted at that time? I mean,
I think if she waits for the new part, they'll give her the extended 6 months. If she has it modified, from what Suzanne's saying, is she will have no warranty.
But she waits until the extended warranty is up and then has it modified. But here's the deal. They never told her they're getting her a new part, did they? They just said, it's in a prototype.
They said they're designing it, yeah.
But why would they design it if they're out of the Arctic Cat business altogether? They were just purchased by another company. The first thing I'd do as a CEO is say, abandon that project. Why, I mean, because you're looking at the bottom line. HormoneBros.com, just the average price of these thread lifts, about how much? What's the range? Very quickly, what's the range?
The thread lifts can usually run a couple $100.
That's it?
As low as. I mean, it completely depends on how many you need done.
All right. Can it be, are they usually under 1,000?
Yeah.
All right. We're out of time. Save all your problems for me.
Wow. That's pretty reasonable.
I think how much to fix his face?
We have to order more threads.
So yeah, our average thread lift
You gotta get
about 1,000.
When they have the ball of yarn lift.
You know what they fix my dog's ACL with? The dog's under 50 pounds. Fishing string. Fucking fishing test. Yeah. I could get somebody else.
You mean they sewed it up with it?
No. They literally replace the ACL with test. That's what they use on dogs under 50 pounds.
Does thread work on the neck area?
50-pound test. That's what they use.
I understand, but
there's doggy skins.
What fills in the gap? Does it grow?
I don't know the answer.
They sewed on. That'd be a good thing.
Literally.
To place the Achilles.
For the Achilles, that's right. Or the ACL.